Jamming.
Hey. It's so loud I had to take my headphones off.
God, that song thumps me up.
It sounds good through my monitors here.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it's just mastered to perfection, isn't it? So like it just fucking it takes every available bit of headspace in it.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, welcome all to number 11. I think this will be our last for the year. How's everyone doing? What's everyone been up to, man? I haven't spoken. Well, obviously I keep contact with Shay. Dan, let's go to you, man. What have you been up to?
Well,
drilling holes,
drilling holes, breathing soda fumes, and just recently getting sick. So whole lot of work and then a whole lot of coughing and sneezing and a whole lot of nothing. So yeah, I'm kind of getting there now.
Do you think you got it? Did you get it traveling? Normally,
probably more than likely. Yeah, like last weekend, I jumped on a flight out to Slovenia, and I went out for a couple of days. And you know, you're around everyone, and it's all enclosed this time of year, isn't it? You know, heating's on everywhere you go, and everyone's all close on top of each other at the Christmas markets and gigs and stuff like that. So I'm more than likely, picked up something nasty on my time away. But,
you always post some damn good looking food when you go over there, man.
I know, right? Well, you know, when I get a chance to eat, you know, that fancy food and not that English stuff, you know, I have to boast a little bit.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Don't you like the curry sauce on everything? Come on.
That's it. Yeah. It's nice to have a break from that. No, so I had a fun couple of days, but I was planning on coming back home and getting busy with work, and all I've done is kind of sit around and do nothing for a few days.
Lay around. Yeah, well, man, sometimes that's what you need to do, you know?
It's true.
That's it.
Can't do much about it.
And Shay, you've been posting a few pictures of a few amps that have been sent out.
Yeah, I did a small run of the Unholy Grails. Turned out awesome. A lot of international guys on this run, so that's, you know, it's kind of cool. Get them out of the United States
if they get there.
Yeah, if they get there. It's I think the system has been working good. I've sent quite a few things over, and
we sent it to the UK.
Yeah, they didn't bounce it back.
That's the one that happened to you, right?
Oh God.
And then they charge you the the one thing that does suck is, you know, that they had that crash, that FedEx. Was it a FedEx plane that crashed?
It was a UPS, man. I can tell you all about that.
They grounded all those planes, so you can't do great rates anymore for months, I guess. So.
Oh, really?
I got a story. I got a story about that.
With FedEx, you can't do
no great rates right now. They've grounded all those planes,
suspended them.
Luckily, UPS was good to go. So. Worked out nicely. And then man, just got some mods here to do, and the year is over. You know, it's just like this year just went like that. And here we are.
Good go quick, man. And Dave, you'll be busy cooking up something new for Namm, no doubt. 8th of December.
Actually, the main starting of all that stuff is starting Monday. So
okay,
I will be busy for a while, and not to mention all the other crap that some people have sent me here to.
Because you're not busy normally, you're just laying around.
Do things. Yeah, I'm laying around, never do anything.
No, dude,
don't work 14 hours a day, 6 days a week.
You're the hardest working guy I know, man. Like, you're freaking unreal. So what do you mean it's going to step up? I mean, you're just going to have to like focus on it and
I have to. I got to get it done.
Yeah,
I have 2 things I have to get done before Namm, and if you really look at it, you know, what do we have? 6 weeks to the day or something like that. Maybe it's 7. Maybe it's 7. I don't know. That's not a lot of time.
No.
So
nope.
That's gonna go real quick.
Especially this time of year is just such a busy time of year. I mean, you got the holidays and family stuff, and it's hard to get shit done around this time.
My birthday next weekend.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
Yeah. I well, luckily this PC board's all loaded. All the transformers are sitting here. The chassis is sitting here. So all I physically have to do is put it together, and it's a relatively simple amp. So it actually shouldn't be, it should just work, and then maybe some tweaking. So, but that's not the least of it. Then the head cabinet has to be made, and it's got to look a certain way. The cabinet has to be made. The combo has to be made.
I know what you're talking about.
It's the Vox.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you said that.
It's the Vox.
There you go.
But there's an open back cabinet that has to be made. Well, we'll be cloning that, but that'll be fine. And then, combo,
because that thing needs a certain look, right? When you talk about the head cabinet,
needs a certain look. I'm kind of like, it has to be. It has to look reminiscent, at least, of what you're going after. I think, just because it people like that, generally. Yeah, I can make it look totally different, but
yeah, it has to be. You got to have a connection to it, in some way.
Yeah, have some sort of connection to it, which is tough because you can't use that grill cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
which is an interesting thing to protect. Yeah.
Well, it's like Eddie Van Halen's stripes are protected too.
Yeah.
So, and the Vox diamond pattern is protected. So can't use them.
Yeah.
Can't use it. So
yeah.
And then and then a whole nother amp I got to actually load the PC board for and do all that. And my helper that's been helping me has gone AWOL.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I can't get in touch with him.
Jamie?
No, Jamie's here.
Oh, another helper.
But he's doing other things.
Yeah.
He's doing rigs and things that we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So gonna have to have someone else help.
Yeah, that's no good. So that
anyone wants a summer vacation, come on. Feels like summer right now.
Come on.
I think it's like 78 degrees outside today.
I'm in the dead of winter over here.
Man. Well, we're very early summer here, but man, you wouldn't know. Every day's different at the moment, and where we are, it's cold one day and fucking baking hot the next.
California gets in this weird thing where it's like really early in the morning or the middle of the night, it's super cold, and then during the day it goes up into the maybe 70s or 75, 78, somewhere there. But at night it could go down to almost freezing.
Yeah.
So maybe not right now, at least hasn't got there yet, but but maybe into the 40s. It's pretty getting there.
Tracy Gunn said you could hire him, Dave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tracy's
all right, Tracy, careful.
He's got his soldering on.
I probably won't pay enough
most days now.
Yeah, he looks like he's been at it. Making some amps, having some fun,
man. Yeah. I know all about that. So yeah, I had that. I found out about that. I'd heard that news about the UPS plane crash. It was in Kentucky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And was it UPS or FedEx?
It was UPS plane.
Was it? I thought it was I think it was a FedEx plane.
100% UPS plane.
100%.
I know, because I was trying to move a pallet from Ohio to Melbourne, Australia, right at that time, and I ended up speaking to the guy at FedEx. I was trying to use FedEx, and he told me, well, you've heard the news about that UPS plane. After that happened, the FAA grounded all of the MD-11.
Oh, I see.
Aircraft.
So this is why. So then FedEx got busy.
Well, they had to both
absorb
the UPS. They had to reroute everything onto other fleet, and my first phone call with the FedEx guys at Great Rates, they just said, "Oh, we just expect it's going to be a few days." So my pallet was just kind of sitting there waiting because I've got like just an absolute ton load of transformers coming over, 45 amps worth. The biggest transformer shipment I've made so far, and yeah, it's 999 pounds that pallet. There's a few other things on there as well, like a couple of speaker cabinets and some head shells and a few other things, but obviously the transformers are the big heavy thing. And then I waited a few days, got back in contact with them again, and they said, "Oh, we actually don't know how long this is going to be." And then Shay, you contacted them last week, and they said, "What, 3 months?"
3 months, yeah.
So in the meantime, I did actually use UPS to ship the pallet, and it just cleared customs in Australia, so I should get it. I'll get it this week.
Was it triple the price?
Man, it was cheaper. So what I found out was the UPS freight rates that you can just get if you open an account and do it through their online portal. And I obviously called them as well, but they were like, "Yeah, these are the best rates that you'll get." They are better, slightly better than FedEx Great Rates.
Wow.
So I came to this. I came to this conclusion that FedEx Great Rates are just to kind of, they must quote way up here, and then they do Great Rates, and it gets them to where the.
I mean, the Great Rates
UPS
are cheap for individual packages. I mean, it's you can ship ahead to pretty much anywhere in Europe for under $200.
Yeah, I've been using that the whole time. Yeah.
It costs almost as much to ship it across the U.S. here.
Yeah, I know, man. That's amazing.
Really close. Like maybe if it's $175 to Europe, across the country, it's $140.
Huh? It's the same.
How does that work?
To ship an amp head from here to the US, it's only slightly more than shipping from one side of the US to the other. It's the same thing. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
But anyway,
unless you have some crazy deal. At the factory, we have the factory rates that they get are insane.
That'd be great. That would be good.
Like often I'll just take something to the factory. I go, "Can you ship this for me, please?" And then just bill me.
Yeah, it's way better.
Because the rate is like, wait, how much? And then they have their own, instead of using insurance through them, they have their own independent insurance that they use. So they insure their packages separately from FedEx or something.
Yeah, so that pirate ship, Shay, because I have used that within the US. That's also really good, isn't it? The rates are great. Really good through that.
Great.
They only use UPS, but yeah.
The only thing that sucks about where I'm at is the UPS hub is like way across town, and I would use UPS more. Another thing that sucks. So I went into my FedEx is right by my house, and it's like you build relationships with these people, and this guy that works there.
Even I know him. Even I've met him.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. And so he tells me, he goes, "Yeah, we're all getting laid off." So in February, they're closing the whole hub down here in Bloomington, which sucks. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Have to do pickups for everything, I guess.
That does suck.
Yeah, I get everything collected from my place.
Same, man. That's all I do.
Yeah, same.
They come right to the door, and I don't have to pay a cent for it.
I've been using DHL more recently for everything because well, the main reason being is that I have loads of customers who send stuff in road cases, and DHL don't make you put cardboard around the road case.
Okay.
Neither does FedEx.
Well, yeah, FedEx, but like I've had trouble before where in UK FedEx gave me shit for that.
Really?
They sent me a bill afterwards for about another £30-40 and said it was they made some complaint about it. I don't know whether it was because of the cardboard or they said it was a 2-man lift or some other thing, but whatever it was, it was just a head,
non-standard
that's ridiculous.
packaging or something.
They just kind of made a big deal out of it. So like DHL, they've been great, and like I've had stuff sent up to me. Like I've had like boogie combos from like Tim at Bare Knuckles sent me boogie combos in road cases. You can imagine how heavy they are, right?
Oh, good damn, dude.
They're EV loaded, hardwood, everything, and they're in those. And they just roll them straight up to my door, no problem, no issues, no nothing. So, and the price is cheaper for me than FedEx or UPS if I send that stuff with them. So
It works in Europe, but it doesn't work here. It doesn't.
Yeah.
DHL isn't widespread.
Yeah.
I mean, it is from European shipments to here, but it's not local.
No.
Yeah.
No, for us guys like over this way, sending stuff to the USA, it's fine. But for you sending stuff from there over here, it's no good. But they're quick to get through customs borders, because I sent out one modded JMP that I'd done to Linz in Austria, and it was picked up in the afternoon, and the guy received it at like 10 a.m. the next day.
Wow, great.
It was literally like
quick.
overnight straight there. Like I've never had that happen to Europe before, and it wasn't crazy money, so I think they send like the customs bill and stuff like that like after they've actually delivered it, which is great.
It can be super quick, man. I'm like at the moment I'm shipping out all those preamps, and I'm using FedEx International Priority because it's only $5 more than the economy rate.
It's way quicker.
But I shipped to the UK, door to door 5 days. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
From
really
here
good.
to literally other side of the planet, US is the same. Super quick. We've got a couple of super chats. I'm going to hit these before we get into our special topic because someone's gone to the effort of
what's up to everybody in the chat too. There's a bunch of people
hey
in
everyone.
here.
We've got a good conversation going in here. Actually, I'm going to highlight this one just for a laugh. Where is it? Oh, Brad. So Brad's offering to come and help Dave. But he's saying there's no way they'd let him in. He can be political from time to time.
I think you might make it in.
I think so. I think you'll be fine, man.
I think you'll be fine. Just keep your mouth shut
fine.
through customs.
Yeah.
But fuck yes, if you want to come over here for a vacation, no problem. I'll take you. I'll put you to work for straight the whole time. No vacation.
Yeah, you should do it. Absolutely do it. Okay, here we go. I think these are questions for you, Dave, so we'll just whack them down straight away.
We'll whack them down quick.
Yeah. Dave, I heard a rumor there may be a Friedman version of a 2C plus in the works.
I don't think so. I thought about it. When it didn't exist, when Mesa didn't bring it out, I thought about, wouldn't it be fun to do the right version of it?
Yeah.
And really and
no squeal.
Wait, build it properly.
Yeah.
I thought that would be fun. But then they came out with a reissue, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Good call. Flash 84 again, $5. Thank you, sir. For the Friedman AC30, will the speaker cable be accessible where I can easily disconnect
Absolutely.
it?
I'm not going to do it like an original Vox. In fact, the chassis is going to be nothing like an original Vox.
Mm-hmm.
The chassis will be similar to all my other kind of chassis, so it'll hang on the back like a Marshall chassis, but hang in a combo or something,
Yeah, like the same way you do it with
all of them. Yeah,
small box combo or
yeah.
a Runt 50 or whatever.
Yeah. Because I can, and it's easy, and then it also ports over to the head really easy, and and every once in a while I get the one guy that goes, "Why are all the controls backwards?" And see, like I grew up with combos where all the controls were backwards, right? So I grew up with Marshall combos were all that way. Vox was all that way,
Always.
It was always that way, and so I never looked at it as being backwards because I just
what are you going to do?
It was
completely relay out the amp just for a combo.
Not to mention, I never quite understand it because like the amps that are in the don't you know where your controls are kind of anyway? Like you should.
Yeah.
You kind of should know right where everything is. You don't really have to read it. You should know where it is if you're really familiar with your amp.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't own a combo.
We do it so we don't have to have a different panel. So if someone wants to convert their combo to a head, which they do all the time,
Yeah.
Yes.
They do.
That's
And if
cool.
they want to go to a combo, they do. So,
So your panel, the faceplate's not even reversed. Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know, man. I'd like personally, I'd rather have a head and a small cab than a combo.
It's easier to carry.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It's way easier to carry.
I just don't get it. I
I've
don't
been
know.
saying the same for years.
I mean,
I
some
don't get
people
it. Why?
years ago, I made I made a few BE 100 212 combos. So they're the size of the full size Blues
dude.
Breaker or Bogner combo,
Oh,
212
man.
combo size, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
What
they
do you
were
do
that
with that?
size. And oh hell no!
Yeah. What do you do?
You don't want to pick that up.
No.
Free hernia for everybody.
I mean, I had to loan. I mean, like, speaking of EVs, you're talking about those EVs. I had a 212 cabinet here with so Michael Nielsen took it from me because we were going to compare a vintage EV12L to a Zach Wild EV12L. No one's done this comparison in a video ever. We don't know how close they are or if they're close at all.
Mm-hmm.
No idea. So we want to see. I know the other EV
Yeah.
that they make today is nothing like it. That's the Series 2 or whatever. It's brighter and sounds nothing like the original. From what I can gather, the Zach Wild does sound more like the original,
Yeah.
but I want to know.
Yeah.
So he goes, I'll do a video of it. I go, okay, here's the cabinet. And I just go to move the cabinet. And I'm like, oh, fuck. 2 EVs and a 212.
Horrible.
Oh, man. Only thing worse is a 412 full of them.
Oh my god, I've never,
Oh, yeah,
I've
man.
never actually tried. I've never seen one
That's
in person anyway.
2 people.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need crew.
People. You'd be lucky the handles don't rip out of the sides trying to pick it up.
You need crew for that. And we've got another one here from Flesh84. Any of you ever think about doing a dual rectifier, or does the SLO 100 already have it covered? We talked a bit about that on the
Yeah.
last
Well,
show, didn't we?
I think it's been done about 10 times over now, isn't it?
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of them out there.
A lot of variants. A lot of
Yeah.
variants. Of it,
There's a
yeah.
Barbara.
Yeah,
I think that market
even to some extent, even Driftwood, even Origins of the Omegas thing is, I think, SLO based too.
yeah. The Framus.
Oh yeah, that is
based
too.
on
Yeah.
that, isn't it? Yeah, Framus Dragon or Framus Cobra. I forget what one is.
One of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I worked on one of them years ago. I remember it was really heavily inspired by it.
Yeah. Like, oh, 39K. Oops, I know what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you see.
Yeah.
It's the very first thing you
Like a
see,
sore
right?
thumb.
Yeah.
At that point, you
Yeah.
almost don't need to look at the rest. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's how much different could it be?
That market's pretty well covered. I mean,
Exactly. I wouldn't go in that direction. Like,
No.
been done
Same.
to death. Okay, and we've got another one from Flesh again. Thanks, brother. So yes, a 2C plus built right would be fun. Do it. I know I'd buy it over a Mesa. How much would it cost to build a one-off amp?
Oh no. We're not doing that.
$50,000
Yeah.
for a
Yeah,
one-off.
well, we can do that. First of all, you're going to pay the engineering cost. So the engineering fees, let's think about 10 grand just there, and then
3 years from now.
there's still the cost to build it. So yeah, 15K.
It takes a long time to do all that design work too. I mean,
Yes.
a new product takes a long time.
It takes so much longer than like a one-off mod is you're working within an existing framework, like on an 800 or whatever it is that you're working on. That's all cool, right? But someone says, oh, can you build me a one-off amp that has these features? And you're designing, okay, you start with a design from scratch, including a chassis design, and then how's it going to fit into a head shell, the whole thing. And you get all the bits together, and you'll find inevitably that there was one thing that you didn't get right, so you have to do it all again. It's just like, no,
Yeah.
production only.
$15,000 maybe.
Wait, less. I said 50.
Yeah, 50 might be a little extreme, but
Yeah.
15 might do
$1
it.
million.
I know. So 50k Aussie. So what's that? About 30 grand US. Yeah. There you go, give or take. All right, Jose. Should we talk about that?
Yeah.
I guess that's the topic, right?
It is the topic. So this is a topic. Oh man, I would have loved to listen to this live stream 10 years ago.
I know. I think we're about to give him a Christmas present with this.
Oh yeah.
This will be cool.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, this information. I mean,
It's out there.
The basic schematic that's been out there for a million years has the basics of this in it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, but that's a whole nother version of the Jose mod that wasn't that. I mean, they were done, but it wasn't that many done like that.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. I mean, based on what you shared over the weekend, Dave, it's not exactly correct, is it? You know, it's
Yeah.
Well, no, it is. Well, it is, except on that particular schematic, because that might have been a particular amp. So who knows what, how it was tweaked for someone, right? On that particular old schematic out there, it has the fatter first coupling caps on it, which I have only seen one amp like that. And that belongs to Mick Sweeta. That used to be Andy Brower's amp, but that was just a 3-in-1 mod. It wasn't any of all the extra shit in there. And but it had the fat coupler on the output of the first stage. And it doesn't have the high frequency cut on that schematic either. That's generally up front right after that cap.
And super important, I think, which we will talk about.
Well, I mean, maybe it just didn't have it. I mean, you can do it without it. It's brighter, but you probably need it.
Yeah,
it'll have more gain without it.
It depends on what you've got downstream from that, I think. But yeah, it's important.
It depends on where else you might have cut top end. I mean, you could potentially get away with, There's several versions, but the good thing about that version of the old schematic that's out there is that it ties the two channel inputs right at the input. And we can get into why that's kind of good, and also why I didn't do it traditionally in the Jose amp.
Yeah, okay, cool. We will do that.
Let's take a look.
Can I just ask one question of you guys before we bring the schematic up, which is, do you have got any recollection of when you first heard the name Jose, as it was associated with a modded amp?
Sure, it would have been 1980 something with some article with Eddie Van Halen somewhere.
Yeah,
I reckon.
So I don't know. At Guitar World, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe a Stephen Rosen interview. I'm not sure.
Something out of a Guitar Player magazine. Maybe the Steve Vai interview after he'd just done Eat 'Em and Smile, or maybe an Ed interview.
I knew about it from the Ed thing, pretty early 80s. I started figuring that out. First thing I did when I moved to California is I went and had an amp modified by Jose.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Went in this
JTM, wasn't it? Was it JTM?
A Black Flag Plexi.
Is that all?
Oh, yeah. That one.
And you know what? I have pictures. I have pictures of it. I have full pictures of that amp inside and out, everything about the whole amp and the mod and everything. And the funny thing is, I found those pictures the other day, and I was like looking at them, and I was looking at them closely, and I realized Jose seemed to be, he would sort of tack the mods onto the amp and not really consider other parts of the amp that much. Like, it's whatever presence it had, it was what presence was going to be in it. He would change the negative feedback to 100K off the 4-ohm tap always, but however a lot of the amp was, he wouldn't change that much. And I was looking at these pictures and I realized I looked and the EQ in that amp originally, you know, was the super bass EQ, right? And I realized that he had changed the resistor for the slope, but he had left the 250 picofarad treble cap,
right?
No.
And then I think I'll have to bring out the picture again to see there was something else. I'm like going, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's strange.
Well, now I got to listen to that.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's things like this where you start to realize like the guy wasn't a guitar player.
No, he just like it was just like
He was a tech, but he wasn't.
wait, it was either that and see now I got to go look. Okay, now I got to find the pictures.
Yeah, that's why you can't really you can't just assume anything with this stuff.
No, you can't. And so like, you know, whatever the voltage is, well, I remember this specifically too, that he really didn't like later amps than the 70s because he would prefer 70s, like 75 and before, because the voltages were much lower on the later amps. And he didn't like the sound of the, you know, like a 800, you know, that's 440 to 450-ish, 430 to 450-ish range in the US at least.
Yeah.
Did you ever see any 50 watts? Many 50 watts modded?
A couple. A few, but not too many because he didn't like that either.
Yeah.
And then there was this other thing that he did that I saw a few of where he had a little transformer made that boosted the B plus voltage higher.
Yeah, like buck and boost type thing.
And it was tacked in. Yeah, but it was the high voltage into it, and it just would bump it up. You know, 20, 30 volts or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
And yeah, there's not much current there. So,
No.
and he had those made or something. I don't know what it was. I've only seen a couple of those. He talked about it to me.
Yeah.
I remember that specifically. It's a little thing that sticks out in my mind. Of course, I didn't know what he was talking about at the time, kind of, but I do remember.
Long time ago.
I do remember that.
Kid.
Well, what's interesting about that is that on what basis was he making those decisions? Because he's not a guitar player. So is it feedback he was getting from people? Right? So
maybe, yeah, with people that are players and stuff, because the players would come over to his house and hang out, you know, while he's tweaking an amp for him and stuff. And
yeah,
you know,
right.
There's a lot of interaction there, like Joe Holmes and people like that and stuff.
But the other thing I wonder, like, is that, you know, if you think about it, like, there was a lot of, at least from what I've heard from people who were around that scene back then, everyone wanted gear that was older than what was current. So, like, if JCM 800s were like currently released, everyone wanted the JMP or the Plexi. And I can't help but wonder maybe if Jose saw that all the guys were saying, oh, well, you know, the old ones sound better than the new ones. And maybe he kind of went digging to find why and just sort of assumed, oh, the voltages are different. That's got to be the issue.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if that might have been a little bit of a blind decision, like in a way, like sort of like, oh, there's a little bit extra voltage. That's got to be the secret. But like we kind of know now that it isn't like specifically because of the voltages. You know, there's many other things in those amps that were kind of key to. Sounding better.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you can kind of tweak the voltage across the board, and the power tubes can be a little lower, and it's still, you know.
Yeah.
But if you just take it as it sits, the voltage across the board, like those 380 volt, 50 watt amps.
Oh yeah,
those are just anemic as hell, and like you can make them sound pretty good, but you got to pay attention to what the voltage is across the board.
Yeah.
And at the phase inverter, and then just downstream, it just goes. You know, if you boost it up, it boosts across the board. It's But yeah, the higher, but the higher play voltage ones, it just sounds a little bit better, generally speaking. Though still, it's got a little more whack.
Yeah.
When people played with volume before, they were a bunch of pussies and
I'm straight.
used modelers for everything.
I
can't carry my head in my cabinet.
They don't like it when we trash talk modelers, by the way.
Sorry.
What's this master
we do
volume
best.
thing that you want? I can take the master
May
volume
as well
out.
just have a blow up doll for a girlfriend. Come on.
Oh, man, I knew exactly where you're going with that.
Damn it.
That's awesome. Hilarious.
I remember
I'm here
reading
now.
that you know Chris Holmes from Wasp.
Yeah.
He had a couple of Jose's, right?
Maybe.
I remember.
I'm trying to get him on Tone Talk.
Oh, cool. Well, I remember reading somewhere that he said that he had his head modded by Jose, and he took the knob off of the master and turned it on 10 and sawed the shaft off.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so it can't be turned any less than 10. I mean, that's kind of how it should be done.
That's old
Well,
school,
I mean,
man.
that's the Jakey Lee method.
Oh, excuse me.
There's just a quick comment here or a question about the Marshall Jubilee being an attempt to do what Jose was doing, modding.
No,
factory
it was
amps.
nothing.
No,
don't think
they're
so.
not
No.
similar at all. But I think, in terms of Marshall bringing out I guess a hot rodded version of what they were doing, maybe that's kind of where it came from. But I think the Jubilee is something that we might want to tackle next year.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
these
I
shows.
think maybe Marshall's attempt at doing the slightly higher gain thing.
Hang on a second.
It was probably like the 2210.
Yeah,
One thing
You know.
one thing that I love about that amp is the guy who made it,
the
Steve
Jew?
Steve Grindrod, maybe. Is that his name? I think.
Yeah, Steve Grinrod or whatever.
Yeah,
Grindrod,
I don't
Yeah.
but it sits right in the pocket with the JCM 800 too. Like they're very similar. Jubilee's got more gain than an 800 does, but they sound very similar, and they're completely different circuits. And I thought that was so cool.
I think the Jubilee only works in a certain setting and not with that much gain.
I
And it
agree
can't
on
be
that
that
one.
low in volume either.
No.
So it can't be too high in volume either because it turns to shit too.
Yeah, every time I've played a Jube, I've always found that like I had to have the gain a fraction more than about halfway, and then I would hit it with the pedal. Yeah, and then it kind of sounded a little bit more, just sounded just better overall. But yeah, it needed volume.
It needs volume, and then but if you go too far, then it turns to shit also. So it
Yeah.
And that EQ, right? That good old plate fed EQ. It's very
weird. Yeah, it's very touchy too.
Very precise where you have to set it. Otherwise, it just goes.
It's got to
sounds
sound
weird
for sure.
Yeah, it's got a character.
The reissues have an anti-log presence pot. So strange, and I don't know why they did that.
Oh, hang on. Is that does it
The
use the standard
255X? It has a C22K, I believe.
Oh,
But
well,
it's a reverse paper.
What do you mean
Are
you don't know
they-
why they did that?
Yeah,
to make it
blocking
bright. I
the-
mean, it wasn't in the originals.
No,
I know, but
is it the same presence pot like style like wiring as you get on like
800.
Yeah,
an 800? Yeah. So all the actions in the last
quarter
from 3 o'clock onwards, isn't it, on an 800? So if you've got anti-log, it will just speed it up a little bit more. But I never really loved that kind of stuff.
I know, I know what Dave's saying, like why they did that, of course.
I mean, it makes sense. That makes total sense to me because that's the one downfall of that presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never really loved that presence. Style.
I never use it. I just put up with people complaining about scratchy presence pots and tell them that
Mate,
just deal with it.
There's
every other amp I send out, you get someone saying, should I put a little bit of contact cleaner on
all
the
the
pot?
time, man,
Like,
all the fucking time.
There's sort of a fix for it. It's funny. Something dawned on me the other day, and I tried it, So if you look at a schematic of a PV-VTM 120,
Oh yeah.
okay. So the phase inverter is a little different than a Marshall. It has slightly different values and stuff. The tail resistor that they added in there is a 10K. And then they have a blocking cap.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then they have a normal vintage style wired 10K presence pot with a 0.1, or you could change the value to 0.2 or 0.3. But it's normal wired. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. That's something I've never actually just tried.
Yeah.
So I tried it. And then you get this beautiful sweep on the presence, but you get no DC. And I might not go as dark as without that blocking cap, but it actually totally works.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a little
bit
of a tonal change, but it's like, it's still totally
well, I put it
usable,
on,
at
of course,
least.
I put it on a switch, and I was clicking it back and forth in real time as I was doing it. And in the end, even the person that was working next to me, he's like going, "What are you doing? I like that one better." And he the new one that he said. So I was like,
cool.
I go, "Oh, okay." I think I do too.
So is it I mean, I'll go and look at the schematic there, but you say it was a 10K resistor in parallel.
Well,
with a 10K
yeah, but
pot.
that has nothing to do with it. So I later did my normal 4.7K tail resistor, and you just have a blocking cap, a 22 microfarad blocking cap.
Yeah, it's a really big cap. It's like
so
big, it's not really having a huge impact on the
So you can look at it, same idea. And then I just did it with a typical 5K pot and typical 4.7K or 5K tail. So and I played with that, and it came out great. I'm like, ooh, hey, this is fun. Then I'm like, well, what happens if I change the presence pot value? Then can I get it a little darker and still get the? I don't know.
I mean, presence changing like the presence value, changing the tail resistor, changing the cap, all this stuff is like that in itself is a rabbit hole. You can just go down and waste the whole day doing.
It's fun. There's a lot of tweaking you can do around that spot.
Yeah, there's good opportunities. Good opportunities there, man, for sure.
Yeah.
We've got another super chat here. I'll hit before we bring up the schematic and get into that. So, TV Tube Amps is asking, Jose extra tube gain stage and the pedal. Any thoughts? Kind of been done, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like,
tube pedal.
Is it that much different than like any boost pedal?
I know.
I don't know that you'd necessarily need to go the whole way to do it in a pedal kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to make any amp sound like a Jose if you put a Jose front end, the gain stage of a Jose in front of any amp. It's just going to sound like gain added to whatever amp you plug it into.
Exactly.
So, there's too many other things going on. If you want the Jose thing, you want a Jose modded amp or a Jose like Dave's thing, like the actual Jose amp or that kind of thing. That's going to get you the sound. It's not necessarily a pedal that's going to magically get you in that kind of area.
I think it's a good point, man, because all you're doing, you're just pushing more gain into the amp that already sounds like it does.
Yeah.
Whereas the Jose mod, as we look at it, it's more than just that gain stage in the front. There's other stuff.
Yeah. As we're going to dig into, there's loads more.
All right.
Let's check it out.
Let's try and bring this guy out.
Now we're starting with the basic one, people.
Start with the basic one.
This is the 3-in-1, right?
This is the standard 3-in-1 with no clipping diodes, no two masters, no nothing. It's pretty basic.
All right.
Just so everyone, just for the record, right? I drew these up, but they were based on schematics that Dave very kindly drew out for us. So what you're getting here is a piece of gold from the guy that's been in more Jose's than anyone on the planet, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I wish I knew how many that was exactly. I don't know, but I can kind of count in my head a little bit, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's quite a few.
Okay, just with the name, Dave, but we get into the guts of this, right? Three and one. Where did that come from? What do you think he meant by that? Like,
You have 3 usable inputs.
okay,
So 3 sounds, so to speak. 3 amps in 1.
there you go.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so just so people can orientate themselves on this, because I realize that not everyone is familiar with looking at schematics, but what we've got on the left-hand side here, where it says hot in, a treble in, and bass in, those are the 3 inputs that Dave's talking about on the front, right? So a 4-hole plexi, one of the inputs would be the gain pot, which we'll kind of talk about. And the other 3 would be usable, which are the 3 that we see here, right? J1, J2, and J3. Where do we start here, Dave? So should we just get straight into talking about the hot input?
Yeah, and there's one thing too on this, like we did the way I wrote it to you, Jason. There's one thing that was changed, but I can explain what that was. The switch after, okay, I guess we started the hot input. So on the top on the left there, I don't know if you got a pointer there you can point at. Yes, you can. Top left there. So you have the hot input. So this is an added gain stage. Let's actually go backwards a little bit. The basic of a basic Jose is an added gain stage in front of a stock 4-input Marshall with a added standard master volume, meaning post tone stack pre power amp, like a JCM 800 has or something. Just a simple pot between the EQ and the power amp. So we'll start there. So and the concept behind that amp was to simulate the sound of a cranked plexi or a cranked 4-input Marshall, but without having it be cranked. So that's the basics of why it was done and how it was done and what the story was behind it.
I think just on that point, like if you look at, again, people that are kind of familiar with the Marshall layouts and stuff, if you look at what's happening here, V2A and V2B, and the volumes that follow them, right? Treble volume and the bass volume, and then they come together through the old 470K mixer resistors into the input of what would normally be V2. That's all. You can see that's all just stock plexi. You know what I mean? So all the stuff on the front here, that's all the new stuff.
Yeah. So in most of the Jose's, he never had an input grid resistor.
Yeah.
So he eliminated the input grid resistor and right at the tube socket, right soldered to the chassis, was a 250 picofarad ceramic cap.
Right.
Kind of compensating for the lack of that. Although generally speaking, this causes things to be a little prone to RF. In amps. But it's really quiet because there's no input grid resistor. You put big input grid resistors and the noise floor goes up immensely. As far as hiss goes. But that's if the guitar is plugged straight in. If you put any pedal or anything that active in front of it, all the noise is back anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So that and you know, this sounds a certain way though, this input without the input grid resistor. It has a certain bigger bottom and like more it's hard to really put it into words, but it's I think it sounds better.
Do you have a personal preference, Dave? Like if you were doing a Jose mod for someone, Would you put a grid resistor on there or not?
I've done it both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Jose amp, I did it this way.
Oh, wow. So
But in the Jose amp, I also have a decoupling cap. Towards the input. So,
okay.
Yeah,
and I with that amp, with the layout, I don't really have problems with it. But
I was just about to say it's the layout and the grounding is really important to get that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And believe me, and none of the Jose mods had any consideration for grounding.
No.
No.
Oh, it was a fucking Wild West shit show. Ground it to anything. And believe me, you can quiet him down a lot if you fix a few things.
Yeah.
So like I say, like a lot of that stuff was pretty archaic at the time, you know, so like what he did and stuff it just wasn't known yet, you know, it just wasn't really like, hasn't been perfected yet, you know, this is the Wild West here. You look at old amps, no, the grounding was terrible, you know, most of them, just like there's not really any consideration for grounding. Because none of them were made to distort originally.
No, that's right.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, Jason. Do you want to continue a little bit, or you want me to?
Yeah. Look, let's go on.
We'll do the signal, Jason. Walk through the signal here and how the signal gets back into the other inputs. You know.
Well, we're at this hot input here, right? So we're hitting this first gain stage. So V1A is the whole new preamp tube that would be drilled in and fitted to the chassis.
Mm-hmm.
One triode.
One triode.
This is one half, yeah.
One half. And you can see over here at the bottom right, I've actually got V1B just all grounded. Now, I don't know whether he actually did that, Dave.
He never grounded it. This is wide open.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a belts and braces thing. You kind of don't need to do that, but it's a good practice too.
Yeah. I wonder if it makes any difference. I don't know if I've ever heard a difference.
I don't know. The guy, one of my early mentors was like, "Oh, you have to."
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Does it make any difference? Probably not. Okay, so the plate. Let's look at the plate resistor setup here.
Now, often on this plate resistor setup, there wasn't a 220K. There was 3 100Ks in series. This is not going to make any difference to you.
No.
Yeah.
Now the schematic that is around on the internet, does it have 3 100s in series?
Hey, good question.
I think it has.
Here it is here.
You talking about the one from like 2006? That schematic?
Are you bringing it up?
It's the old Hey Sam schematic, isn't it, from the Metro days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
OG.
Let me. I'll just bring it up. I'll bring it up real quick.
This one was a little bit different than some I've seen. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it has on the lead side.
It's got the 2. It
on the bright
there,
side, right? it has this one too. So there's 100K for the bass side. This makes sense actually, and I can explain why. Oh, wait a minute. Are both of these 2.7.68? Oh yeah. Oh, it doesn't have the bass.
And this has also got a common 100K.
Yeah.
Which I've seen on a couple of Jose's.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to be the normal thing.
No.
Well, no. Because you got a higher voltage on the one that's going in. You know, I think this might have been to compensate for, because you're technically on the bass side, you're going into a hotter stage. You know, the cathode resistors of the second stage are hotter. You know, and like, I don't know.
It's used in both sides. It's used in both sides of that Jose gain stage as well, right? It's quite a different.
Yeah, this is a different. We shouldn't even get into this, but technically it has 3. It has 3, right? So technically it has 3.
let's
So,
get rid of
let's
that.
go
one.
back to the other one.
Confusing for
Let's
everyone.
bring that. Let's bring.
We have now confused everyone by bringing this up.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah.
We're gonna create our own
It had
history
3,
here.
so but there was no regard. A lot of these mods, there was no regard for like voltages either and different things.
Yeah. It looks like there was kind of like a recipe, but
He had a recipe, but it depended on what the voltage was in the rest of the amp and how that front stage came out. You know, if you had a high B plus in the phase inverter, then down the road that's going to be higher B plus. You know, and
yeah. What we do know though is that this recipe here was definitely used, and we know that this recipe is really tasty. It works. It sounds good. This is the one, man. If you're gonna play around with Jose stuff, this is the one you want to do.
Now these two plate resistors. Now for me, what I've found is I like this first tube to sit at something like 140 volts.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
I most of the ones I've found that I've liked the most have sat around that. So often, depending on the rest of the amp and depending on the tube you're using in the first slot, also because different preamp tubes draw different currents and the voltages will be remarkably different. I will play with this 220K resistor and might lower it a little bit to like 150 or something just to get the appropriate voltage at that pin, you know, that I want to see. Yeah. You can go lower, but I if you don't have an input blocking cap at the beginning, you're going to bleed. If with JJ tubes, especially, you're going to bleed DC out your input and have a noisy guitar pot.
Yeah.
So
every time.
you can go to like maybe 135-ish.
135 is okay, I think. Yeah, once you get to
much
low
less
130s,
than that, you're fucked.
Anything with a 120 in the front, yeah, no good. I think that 140 thing, like just in terms of a kind of a rule of thumb for any Marshall style circuit where you want to put this extra gain stage out front, 140 is a good place to start for sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you're doing this kind of thing, I think it's a good little target-ish area. I mean, I'll accept 135. I'll accept, 142, but somewhere in there, I think.
Okay.
So then you come out.
We come out. So we should say just the cathode setup on this because this is a whole new gain stage. So he would just replicate what you'd see in the treble channel for the cathode setup. So what is now V2A standard Marshall, right? 2K7 and 0.68. I think everyone listening to the stream has probably heard us talk about that before.
Yeah.
So the coupling cap, Dave, coming out of this one, it's the same coupling cap that you would normally see on the treble channel.
Yep.
0.0022. By contrast, on the bass channel, which is down here, you'd normally see 0.022.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So here we are. Here, our signals now.
And 98% of the amp
stage
had that coupling cap.
Yeah.
Although there are a few that didn't.
Okay. Let's talk about C7 on this guy. This cap to ground. What's it? Explain to people what it's doing.
It's got a lot. It adds some compression. It's it's filtering some noise out the top end, and it's a huge spot in this amp. I mean, this one component in the Jose is a big part of this.
Yeah, it's a big roll off.
It's
big high frequency roll off. Basically.
It's a very, very big high frequency roll off. I mean, that's a pretty big cap for doing that. I mean,
pretty big cap.
To be the same size as the coupling cap. I mean, that's a pretty dramatic.
It is, right? It is. I've played with this a lot. I'm sure we all have, and I think that the value there depends on what you've got going on the back end of the amp. But I do find that if you do, and we are going to talk about master volumes as we get into this, right? But if you do, I've found that if you do a pre-tone stack with diodes, the value of this guy, that's that kind of teeter-totter thing, it becomes really important to get it right, because otherwise it will be very ice-picky and just unpleasant, I find.
Mhm.
It has a similar effect as like a snubber on a plate. Like it kind of, stuff like that. Like if you took that cap out of there and put a plate snubber in somewhere, it would have like a similar kind of thing.
You
But,
can.
Yeah.
It also
But,
it also cuts gain, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It will cut a little
Yeah.
output level of that stage.
Yeah.
That's the one sort of drawback of that cap a bit.
It's definitely got a big thing in the feel department, like the way that the amp feels under the fingers. I think this cap is huge for that.
Just in your own work that you've done, guys, what kind of range of values have you tended to play with in this position?
Oh, like anywhere from like 470 puff through to like maybe probably that for me is the top value, because
Yeah.
I tend to like my amps a little bit brighter than kind of maybe typical. So, for me, if I go up to like 0.0022, that's kind of a pretty hefty roll off. So, yeah, I mean, I like anything from, a lot of times it sits somewhere between like 1,000 puff up to 22.
Yeah. 1,000 puffs is a real common value in a lot of these amps. I mean, I've used it a lot, but it's
exactly. And it's also going to depend again, if we just reference quickly back to the the other parts of this, like if you've got a grid stopper on the input stage, that might affect what you want to do downstream with these caps.
Yeah.
Or if you have like a snubber cap on the plate, then you might you might not want so much right after that coupling cap. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's always a case of like, if there's a little bit here, you might not need so much there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Totally, man. Totally. All right.
Seasoning to taste.
Yeah.
I think we nailed
But this
that
is, and I don't want to bring that other schematic back up, but this cap is not on that schematic, is it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So that's a key, very key.
Although I have seen amps just like that schematic before, and they're generally there. I wonder if it was just missed.
Yeah.
That amp also has a larger output coupling cap there too.
Mm-hmm.
Also true. Yeah. Okay. So now we're into the Jose gain pot. I don't know how you'd normally describe that, Dave, but this is the pot for the Jose gain stage, and it would normally be set in one of the 4 input holes.
Correct.
Yeah.
With a push-pull pot. And often this pot was a linear pot.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it makes a lot of sense if you put one of these pots in, because that it rolls off real fast.
And it sounds, when you wind it back, it just doesn't sound good, does it?
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. Yeah.
The 1 meg linear actually makes more sense, because it won't roll back so fast.
This is an area like in your own work. It's I'm sure everyone's done this before. This pot, I might actually lift it off ground so that even if when you wind it back, the amp doesn't go off.
Yeah. You could do that.
Yeah.
Often many people that have tweaked this circuit post Jose have put bright caps across the pot too. You know, maybe a 3-position bright switch. Could range, could be 1,000 puff and 4,700 or 20. Could whatever you like. Actually, the funny thing on that volume pot, if you use a 250, I played with this with a decade box, and if you use it, if you don't want it to be more attacky and more of something as you turn it down, the 250 value kind of keeps what it was on 10 as you turn it down. Kind of keeps the same basic relationship. I mean, if you want it to do something else like that cap to cause a huge effect on the tonal shaping of it, then the bigger caps will do that, But then again, also, like, you can't use it much below 6 at that point.
Yeah.
Because it turns to shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Broken.
Yeah, and it's also got a lot to do with what's coming after it there. You know, with the next part, which is the where you've got the 68k resistors. You're doing a massive, huge drop. You know, it's essentially like you've got a massive cut to the output at that point there.
Yeah.
Yep.
With those being a potential divider.
So let's talk about this switch.
Yeah. So you said it was on the pot.
No, this is the switch that will work better. Now, the one Jose actually did, all he did was the switch on the pot when it was in would ground that wiper.
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, and you'll see why that's flawed if you look at the other inputs then.
Well, you end up with the 68k to ground.
Correct. So your then stock bright input then is a low sensitivity input.
Very, very, very much so.
So that's one thing I always change because it's like it can't.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it bothers me. I mean, well, like if I'm doing this mod, I actually do it so a push-pull pot takes out that whole first gain stage. And then you essentially, the way I wire it up, we're not showing that now, but you essentially then have a lead input into the, with a 33k resistor, and like it's all, just like it would be in the high.
I've seen those ones that you do. That's a cool way to do it.
It's less flawed, It's like hey, I want this to be a stock 4-input amp. Okay, well, if you want it stock, then it has to be this signal path, and it works. I mean, better.
Yeah, and Dave, the way that you do it, you get to reuse that same input on the amp too. You don't have to
one input. You don't have to plug it in separately. You don't have to.
All that bullshit that comes with it, right?
It's cool. I prefer it as well. It's the better way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
But, some people do like want it like really authentic. So I get that. Like, but it's just kind of, there's just better ways of doing things than how things were done back in the day.
So okay. So after this switch, right? So we've improved this switch in the schematic.
We have.
But after this switch, you have a 68k in series. And then if you follow that other lead down, that other 68k is actually going to ground because the input jack is grounding.
Right here.
Yeah. Yep. So you got a 68k voltage divider.
That's right.
Going into the stock Marshall stage.
And that is super important. So this R14 here, this 68k to ground.
Yeah.
I've worked on a local Aussie guy had done a Jose mod for someone. Probably done 15 years ago by the time that I got to look at the amp. This resistor was not in the amp.
Well, that
resistor is more important than C7 up there.
Yes.
Yeah,
this thing sounded like just so bloated, and the whole front end was blowing up in the bottom end. It just sounded fucking terrible. So it was all this. And Shay, you mentioned before, right, about, as you said, C7 as an opportunity to kind of fulfill this value here. I mean, 68k, I reckon is really lean and tight. It's cool as, but if you play with the value of this guy,
if you increase that value, the gain will go up, and there'll be less loading on the output coupling cap of the previous stage.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which in turn will be fatter.
Yeah.
If you have less loading, part of the tightness of it all is the 0022, and then 140, a little less than 140k or whatever to ground.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, actually, even less to ground if you really look at it, because you got a 1 meg pot if it's on 10 strapped across it too.
Yeah.
So
the signal is just really tailored right there.
Yeah.
Like like the shape is real nice when it's coming through and it's going, to the next parts of the circuit.
It's
Yeah,
probably
that
about
lower-
equivalent with the 1 meg on 10, probably about the equivalent of 100K to ground when parallel across it, roughly.
Yeah.
All right, so then it goes into the treble in there, and that 68K turns the 1 meg. In parallel, it parallels with that.
Yeah,
and then it just go ahead.
So when
Anybody
you
wants to take it, go ahead.
when you look down here, there's a pull both feature, right? And this is kind of a flaw too.
Talk about that.
What is this part?
Pull both, adds the bass channel.
This is jumpering. This is the
jumpers.
Yeah, it's basically jumpering it.
But if you look at how it's done, it is then paralleling this other 68K resistor.
Yeah.
In parallel with that other 68K to ground. So then it's 30 some K.
So now you've got your Jose stage voltage dividers, a 68K and a 33 to ground.
So when you pull this, you lose gain.
It's going to be lean as.
You lose gain. Although you can often boost that bass channel to kind of get the gain back if you're blending it in, which is how it's designed. But it's a little flawed. I mean, you could do tricks like put a dummy plug in the bass input on this, then it lifts
break that ground, break the ground connection.
And then it lifts it. But again, this is sort of flawed. It's kind of a thing that happens when you pull both. Of course, I've found a lot of people wind up turning both second volumes up a lot sometimes when they do this.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, who really uses the bass channel on this? Does anybody?
Well, the actual bass channel, no, but the blend, I mean, you can.
The blend works fine.
Yeah.
So Ken, you're technically correct. I had like 2 hours yesterday to draw up 3 schematics, so you'll have to forgive that. It's a couple of small errors, but it's saying like on here, these switch jacks here should be connected to ground. Okay. Like this one is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
Damn it. Disinformation. We're just putting out more disinfo now.
Yeah, that's it. We're just
gonna put out enough information so that you can get 99% of the way there.
And so we can get
not 100.
We can get emails relentlessly.
We're gonna gatekeep that last one.
I tried this and it doesn't work right.
I will look if I end up making these available for download, and I guess I will. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I'll make that fix. We'll fix that up. Okay. Does anyone use the bass channel, Dave and Jose?
To blend in, some people, sure.
I do.
Sure.
Just to blend it.
Just to blend
in. I want a little more low end thump out of it because it's pretty lean. Jose has 2 stages in a row that's 0022s, and it's kind of on the lean side.
You don't need much of it. I mean, like if you put the bass channel on maybe like even as little as 10 or 11, I mean the cathode bypass cap on there, being so big, it does kind of let a bit more thickness in. I mean, and that's also, as a side note, that's also another point that you can play around with. You can mess around with the kind of the voicing of the bass channel if you don't like it. So
true.
Then you have something else to blend in. But as it stands, like with those values, I like about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, but not much more. It starts to get a little bit bass heavy, like I don't know, just in the pick attack.
Yeah.
The fun way to make this work a little bit better on the pull both is you just, considering you might never use the bass channel per se of the amp, if you just want it to blend in permanently, you just tie the 2 input grids of the stages together.
Yeah.
And then you will not have the gain cut, and it will work flawlessly. And that's what I did in the Jose amp.
Yeah.
It eliminates that issue of it cutting gain, because that was always sort of annoying, especially in this mod, because this mod doesn't really have a lot of gain.
No.
So
it's the way to do it.
Yeah.
It just makes all this much cleaner, doesn't it?
Yeah, I prefer it. That's how I do it on all of them now. I used to do them the traditional way, but like I just, you know what? Like, there's loads of things when you look at these. Like, if Jose was alive now, he wouldn't still be doing some of these things.
Probably not. Yeah.
No, he would have totally updated these things. There'd probably be relays somewhere. There'd probably be all kinds of other shit in there. So, you know, it's cool to embrace, like, you know, newer ways of doing these things now.
100%.
Dave, talk about C14. I'm curious. I mean, if you guys, I mean, we're not there yet.
What is C14?
The standard,
that's the one I just mentioned. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So C14, with that being such a big cap, you kind of find that when you start pushing that bass channel volume up higher, it does get a little bit woofy. Whereas, you know, if you tailor the value, you know, but then also you can kind of do similar things by changing the coupling cap. You know, you could do other stuff there to get a tonal difference. So that's kind of like the teeter-totter stuff, you know, where you change a little bit here, change a little bit there, and you've kind of got to find a balance that you like.
There's a lot of tuning. Sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say there's a lot of tuning opportunities in there, but this is he wouldn't change. This is the old V1, right? And
that's the old V1.
It's just he's just left.
I leave it because generally I just blend it in a little, so it's not really.
Yeah,
you don't really. You're not relying on that stage at all to get the tone out of it. So it's not really. It's good that it has a lot of bass because you just blend it in a tiny bit. You know.
Yeah. Okay. So if we just move along in here, we're now into. So as we've said already, V2A and V2B were the old V1, right? In the stock amp, and he would leave all of this pretty much dead stock. We have standard plexi bright cap on the treble, so it's 4700 in this case. I mean, be 4700 or 5000 depending on the on the build. This triple peaker cap here, sometimes 470, sometimes 560, or let's just assume this was all just a stock amp. And then we're into the grid of the old V2, which is now V3. And again, these are all standard values.
Those are standard old lead values. Some amps might not have the 0.68. I've seen some Jose's without it, and I've seen some with it. So again, it might be something that he just whatever was in the amp.
Whatever's in the amp. So, but you wouldn't see. So we had a discussion about this bypass cap on one of our earlier shows, and about what era or year of Marshalls did they particularly use this or didn't use it or whatever.
Good question.
That we did. We talked for about 40 minutes, I think, on that topic. I guess my question is, Dave, did you never saw Jose change that though? He would just use whatever the amp had was as it was.
I mean, maybe I'd seen some like later ones, 800s that he added it into. It's hard to tell sometimes with these old amps. Was that added by him? Was it added by someone else? Was it
was it already there?
It wasn't there originally if it was an 800. So that's the thing, is like often I think he threw this mod on an amp that existed and with little regard for the rest of the amp.
Okay, so from the output of the cathode follower here at the top of R8, the top of this 100k resistor. So you can see, guys, Dave has noted the sort of standard voltages we would normally see here. wrote wrote this in from the info that Dave sent through. Standard-ish, yeah. Yeah.
They varied. It varies depending on the brand and kind of tube you're using too in the socket. Those voltages can change pretty wildly.
Yeah,
for sure.
Up or down.
For sure. Standard Marshall lead tone stack. Okay. 33K slope, 470 on the treble cap. Now, this is the added master volume.
JCM 800.
Okay. Just like a 2203.
Yeah.
Now, where would he put that, Dave? Physically, like you think about
physically, often it would be where the pilot light was, and then he'd move the pilot light over on the other side of the switches. That was the most standard thing.
We still do that.
That's the way that mine's done right next to me.
We still do that because it looks cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right. That amp, that's the third one down there in the bottom of the cabinet. That's the Jose, and that's the way it's done.
Yeah. Looks cool. Like that.
It's logical as well, isn't it? Because obviously you don't want to move your EQ controls and everything else, and have to move, just to make space for where a stock 800's master volume would be. So,
well, you don't want it up near the input either.
Now,
no.
When he did my amp, I had him put the presence on the back, and the master volume went where the presence pot was. And I've seen some amps that were done that way too. Yep. If you wanted to retain the stock look of the amp, so often, and I've seen it several other amps. Some people wanted to retain the stock look of the front of the amp. So you put the presence in the back, you put the master there, and the gain pot, the first gain pot that normally is on the front was on the back. Yeah. So that's how mine was originally done. So it looked like a stock amp.
Yeah, that's how he did Sykes' amps as well.
On some of them, yeah.
Yeah, some of the 800s he did for him. They had all the stuff like they looked stock from the front, like the 4 input 800s. But he had like stuff hidden on the back of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's certainly common for for modders who are implementing a Jose style circuit in a plexi, and you don't necessarily want to drill holes in it. You end up without the ability to blend a bass channel in. You just end up with like a 2203, right? It'll just have a gain pot and a volume pot.
Yeah.
In the standard positions. Yeah, that's kind of it, right, for this guy.
That's it for that guy. That was the basics. Now, always the negative feedback was always 100K resistor off the forearm tab, and depending on the era amp, it was either a newer style presence wiring, which is with the resistor to ground, and then most of the ones I saw were. I mean, I've seen some 800s, but a lot of them are older amps. So it was either the new style wiring with a 5K pot and a 0.68 cap, or it was the 0.1 with a 5K pot, vintage style wiring.
Yeah.
This foundation right here is, I think this is the best foundation for a high gain guitar amp. And I know, I mean, we're all Marshall kind of guys. I mean, I think we all mess with this thing quite a bit. But it's just good. It's just good. It just sounds good.
Yeah.
And there's so much you can do with it as far as tweaking it, changing other stuff here and there. And are we going to get into the master volume, Jason? Are we going to touch that?
Well, there's a second version of this that we can bring up. Of this.
Yeah.
Which is the parallel first gain stage.
Oh yeah, there's that one. Obviously the position of the master. I don't know if we're gonna go. You guys want to go there?
We do go there.
We'll go there.
Okay. I got three schematics.
Okay.
All
right.
Okay, so, let me zoom in a bit on this guy.
Everything's the same about this, but the first gain stage. So the first gain stage, the V1A and B are paralleled, but not paralleled in a normal way. They have separate plate resistors and separate cathode resistors. And
Strange.
this was one of the ways of the plate resistors that I've seen. Although we saw another one a while back. It was a little different, but yeah. So he paralleled the two. So you're going to get Steve Vai's amps technically were this way.
Right.
Although it's funny because one of the caps was cracked on a connection, so it actually wasn't connected. And
All that
so
work for nothing.
And then I listened to it both ways, and I'm like, it sounds better without the second stage attached. So that's what he wound up getting and liking again. So
yeah,
this the way that the plate resistors are set up here, Dave.
Yeah.
It's more. This is more similar to that old hand-drawn schematic, isn't it? Is it kind of similar?
It's a little different. I mean, this is what I've seen in several of them that have been where he splits 100Ks off into the two sides and then has one resistor that, well, not one or maybe two even that feed them.
Yeah.
This is you're gonna get more voltage gain out of it. So more output voltage out of this stage, essentially. I don't think it sounds that great though.
I don't either.
Yeah, I
like the
think
other
that you
version better.
I don't think you need as much roll off on the output of the stages with this either, because you've got more Miller capacitance going on.
Yeah, a little bit.
You've got more of that happening. You know, the inputs of each triode, you know, they've got their own internal capacitance happening and everything. And you just, I feel like you get a slightly, I don't know how to describe it. You sort of lose a little bit of something. Maybe like the top end doesn't extend as far anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something about it for sure.
Yeah, it kind of seems almost like it's a little compressed or kind of a bit more rolled off generally. Maybe a tiny little bit less like lively in the top end, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think because the grid, these grids tied together, I think that's a really good point, Dan, about the Miller capacitance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that because he's left everything else here back to this R14, everything else after these two gain stages is the same, and it's almost like if you're going to parallel these gain stages, then to voice this thing, you'd probably adjust a few of these values.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, or they just wanted more gain, which is probably why he did it in the first place. You know, can I get a little more gain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
because no one ever asked for that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is though, like if you're going to do a parallel gain stage, there's kind of like if you look at it from design like point of view, you typically do it because you can drop some of your resistances lower. Like you can get the same voltage gain with a lower plate resistor, for example. You know, and you can halve values down, so you get like less noise supposedly. But I don't really know how much less noise you get from doing that. I've played around with it a few times, but
typically you'd have one set of cathode resistor, one cathode resistor basically, and one plate resistor feeding the two paralleled.
This would be like the matchless, right?
Yeah.
So like matchless do this that kind of thing, but again, it does sound different if you were to kind of convert this to like the matchless kind of way. You know, that also sounds different to this. So it's they've all got like their own tonal character. It's just kind of different ways to skin the cat, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Parallel gain stages are cool. I mean, there's some benefits that you could get there, but I just don't think that one right there is the one for this circuit.
No.
Well, there's
no.
there's a few different ways to do that too, right? So the other way to, and maybe the more common way of seeing a parallel gain stage is where it's actually a shared plate and shared cathode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Dave was just saying.
Yeah, right. Sorry, completely different animal.
The funny
Yeah.
thing is, like, you're maybe, increasing the output voltage of this stage, but then you're still dropping the shit out of it after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's still getting crippled by that 68K,
Yeah.
68K divider.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
if they wanted more gain, just like change those, like make those bigger. You don't
change those
have to-
dividers and then maybe
Yeah.
shrink the coupling cap a little bit
Yeah.
if it got too basic.
Yeah, exactly. There's ways of doing it, but you can. I get the feeling that this again shows, like, when we're talking about this kind of stuff, we know this because we're players, and we know how stuff feels when we make adjustments to a a circuit. And Jose obviously didn't kind of have that on his side.
Yeah.
Couple of I'm going to hit a couple of questions here, guys. Just watching the chat here. They're right on where we're at. So,
Haven't looked
first
for a
of
bit.
all, Randy Dobson Guitar, thanks for the super chat. Says, thanks so much for this, guys. Noob question, but how much difference between the typical Jose mod and the JCM 800 JEL spec? Thanks again. That's a question for you, Dave.
Totally different, really. But I guess you can look at anything like it's still a gain stage in front of a gain stage. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah.
And then it's what's between those two stages is what's changing it. It's a different circuit. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a different circuit.
I think if you look
is
at
it
this,
the same concept? It's an extra gain stage shoved in front of shoved in front of a Marshall style circuit. Yes. Are the two gain stage cathode followers the same? Yes. The plate resistors are different. And what's in between the two stages is, well, the output coupling cap's the same, but then how the volume is and going into the next gain stage, that's different.
Yeah.
It's small subtleties that make huge differences.
100%.
Absolutely.
It's true.
We have a question here on the original Jose mods. Was he hot shielding the coax to the plate? No,
never. Ever, never. He was tying it right to chassis. Soldered right to the chassis. So it was well, here's where the issues come in. It was grounded at the input, shielded wire over to the tube stage, and then grounded again on the chassis at the tube stage.
Yeah.
So
not
there
was a bunch of ground loops essentially in a lot of these old amps, and there's things you can do to clean those up a little bit in some of the old amps too that improve it a little bit.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, seriously, soldering to the chassis, you got to have a pretty hefty soldering iron to do that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
to get an actual quality joint.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do.
No,
you need a big ass
not
iron.
a Marshall chassis. You've got to kind of damage the surface to
Wait a minute.
Oh,
you do.
You're gonna show one?
Yeah, you've got to rough the surface up with maybe even spin a drill.
Mate, 100%, Dan. And the tidiest.
I was going to say, if you try and solder that shield, say on like a coax or something, that's going to get hot enough that you're going to melt the internal hot conductor.
Oh, you will. You have to pre-tin the chassis. Actually the cleanest implementation of soldering to a chassis that I've seen is the stuff that Sir does in the SL amps, or SL68.
Yeah.
That's clean as.
I like that. They have those little tabs.
Shit.
Don't they?
Yeah. What the hell is that?
Christ.
Oh my god.
That's a soldering iron.
Oh fuck.
It's the size. Here, I'll give you an idea.
Oh my
Oh my god.
Man.
It's like,
what world did that come from? That is not
like,
from here.
Dude,
Christ.
I mean, do the lights dim when you plug that in, or what? Like,
yes,
Holy
It's a girthy beast.
it must be from 1950s or something. I think it was originally designed for
Oh my god, that just made me cry when I
for
saw that.
for like stained glass, I think originally. And
It looks like some kind of like
let me tell
old
you,
English
if you
torture
need to
weapon.
solder something to the chassis, this works.
it's like,
Yeah.
where's
I
the
believe
It's
saying,
also
you
weighs.
use it,
It's probably
to
like
fix
10
cell phones on the
pounds.
side.
It's probably 10
Oh,
pounds,
yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
or if you hit someone with this, you kill them.
I mean,
You
your
use
solder
that-
joint's going to be like immaculate, but the component's just going to be vaporized.
You use that for all your really fine surface
Yes,
mount
for the
stuff.
fine
Dave?
circuit board work. Yes,
Oh, the surface mount.
I have
reflow.
used it before on like fender chassis and things where I needed to reflow a solder joint on a fender chassis, and man, it works as long as you got
Oh,
room
man.
and you're not going to burn something else down while you're doing it.
Yeah. You got to
Yeah,
use
the,
it in the Jose amps, for authenticity.
I can't even. I've never seen one of those ever. I can't even believe that exists.
I've never seen another one.
It's like
I
a
don't even
damn
remember-
jackhammer.
I don't even remember how I got it. I don't even know why I have it. That's the weird thing. I have no recollection where it came from.
Yeah. It's a weapon of some
Wow.
kind.
That
Yeah.
is classic. Rotating driveline says, the configuration and the match list is discussed in section 1.6.1 of Merlin's new book. Yeah, so the great valve wizard, Merlin, has released a new revision of his designing. I think it's so I had the original books, the designing preamps and then designing power supplies. And I think
Me
this
too.
the new book kind of brings together those two things into just
Yeah, his power amp book was like out of print pretty quick, wasn't it? I got both of them right when they came out, I think. And then I remember people were saying like, "Oh, they couldn't get the power amp book."
I got the new book, and then I like kind of like glanced through the most of it, and then I'm sort of like, well, this doesn't really cover. This briefly covers most everything that was in the other book.
Right.
But it actually doesn't go into as much detail as some of the things in the other book did.
Yeah.
And I kind of was like a little disappointed because I was hoping for something more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't need to buy this. I already had it, really.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was kind of like a variation on a theme with the other two because I've already got them. So I thought maybe
if you have the other two, you probably don't need it.
I think he's brought it together into one, like as Dave said, it's kind of like the main ingredients from those two books just into one consolidated thing.
Sure,
I mean, I bought it anyway because I just, throw him some money. Basically, it's where he's done some amazing stuff out there. But I think if you don't have any of those books, if people are listening to this and you don't have one of Merlin's books, just get this new one.
Yeah.
Although I think for beginners it might be it's pretty math heavy. I mean, the old one might be better.
What do you think of the other books? TUT.
Oh yeah, I had all that. I'm trying to remember.
I've got all of them here.
I bought that twice because I loaned one to someone. I never got it back, and then I wanted to have it again as a reference, just to have. And
they're great.
And then I bought another one. And I have no idea where it is right now.
Yeah. Well, they're
not
pretty
buying it a
chunky
third
books,
time.
so they're kind of hard to lose. But
Look at this though.
Those are great.
Ooh, that was cool.
Oh, I've been reading.
You know
up
about
this one?
No,
Look
I don't know
how
about
thick
this.
is.
Yeah.
Wow.
This
is cool, by the way. This is
Tell us about
cool.
this book.
So there was a writer.
Looks expensive.
And I have no idea how much. I actually have no idea what it costs because he interviewed me about some of this stuff, and so I got it for free. But I don't know how long he was working on this, but man, this is like a Bible of old, technically Japanese Charvel, but there's definitely some pictures and stuff from U.S. San Dimas era Charvels in here, and the pictures and the stuff you get and the information you get in this is, I mean, there's original documents in there. There's original pictures from when they were making things. There's stuff from the factories on the floor in 80 something.
Yeah.
It's
That's
really for any Charvel likers or lovers, man, this is super cool.
I need to get one.
The Jackson guys are diehard usually, you know.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I love those Japanese era Charvels and Jackson Japan guitars.
Oh, you'll
and
love
stuff.
this book. Then
I've got
you
like
need
2
it.
or 3 of the Japanese era Charvels, and the
Yeah,
blue stuff, and
You'll love it.
Dave,
that's what that pink one is up there. That's
Yeah.
one of those,
right.
You know,
Dave, is that a book? Is that like the Marshall book where it's a kind of picture,
Yeah, there's a bunch of pictures. Yeah, tons.
or is it more of is it telling the whole backstory? Is it like a lot of
both?
okay?
Yeah, I mean, it gets down to the kind of strap pins that were used on no, it's full of pictures
proper
and
geeky
ads
stuff.
and pictures and like, wait, I'll get something that was fun or something. There's early pictures too, like of like early pictures of the on a paint drying rack of the Star guitars.
Wow.
Full screen,
Really
full
cool.
screen him real quick, Jason.
Oh yeah. Okay. How do I do
That's
this?
it. Kind of trying to hold this in a way you can.
We can see it pretty good. Or do you, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, and
It's
like
cool as hell.
I don't know what else we got here. We got different,
Oh,
all
yeah.
sorts of different pictures. But I mean, like this is endless. I mean, the pictures are endless throughout the whole book. I mean, it just tons of information.
Where do you get it? Do we know how much it is?
That's a good question.
I think it's quite an expensive book.
It looks expensive.
expensive.
Let me see if
Yeah.
Especially if you want it in Australia, it'd be really expensive.
It's got the name Japan in it too, so anything Japan related. Let's see.
It depends where it's been printed, I guess.
Charvel Jackson, Japan. Here it is.
The book. It's called The Book.
70 euro plus shipping.
Oh yeah,
That's not so
Okay.
bad.
That's
At
all right.
least on this website that I just saw.
Yeah,
that's not
pretty
too bad.
good.
That's not
That's
too
what
bad.
No.
I'd pay that for that book.
Yeah, the website it's Char
I'm gonna make sure I get it on my phone.
Charvel-Jackson-Japan.com / the Charvel. Oh God, it's too long to look it up.
It's easy to Google. It just pops
Yeah,
right
I
up.
found it.
Look
I found
at
it straight up.
Charvel Japan book and look at it. Google's come straight up.
I just found it straight away. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Untold Story.
Yeah, the guy was really obsessed about this. The author, and he interviewed me. I mean, interviews with Grover, talked to all the people that used to work there. It's like pretty in depth, man.
You
Lot of
know
history.
what? If
That's a
you
lot of
buy
history
that book, it's gonna cost everyone more than €70 because once you get the book and you read it, you're gonna want to go and buy.
Yeah, you're gonna want to buy a Japanese Charvel. Luckily, those aren't very expensive yet.
Yeah, they're creeping up.
Yeah, they're creeping up though.
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to cost a lot more than €70, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe he pulled that damn soldering iron out. I'm still laughing about that. Some straight Honey, I Shrunk the Kids shit, man.
It's like some kind of like weird sadistic medieval English weapon.
Did Dave say how many watts that iron is?
Oh God.
Yeah, it probably is like about a 200 and something watt iron. Yeah, it's got to be
Yeah.
because I've got like a 100 watt iron and it's nowhere near that big.
Yeah, I got 100 and it's massive, but nothing like that.
Yeah, it's nowhere near that size.
Where are we going to go next? Are we going to go back to the?
We're going to go. I've actually got a super chat here, but it's a question for Dave, so we do need to wait for him. So,
Yeah.
but we're going to go to the last of the schematics, which is the last thing I drew up last night, for me anyway, was the pre-tone stack, post-tone stack master volume, which was on a push-pull pot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for anyone who's watching this who wants to go and have a reference what that is, the Pete Thorne video on the Steve Vai amp that Dave, you're in that video as well, right? That's
I think so. Yeah,
a great description and demonstration of pre and post tone stack. So just before we go there, Dave, there's a super chat question here for you.
I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick.
yeah, do it. That's what I did.
I'm going to do the same.
Everyone's gone.
Everyone's a mass exodus. Okay. And the question is, thanks for the show, Dave. How different are the Jose amp and the Custom 50, which is the Reza amp, besides being 150?
I mean, there's some similarities, for sure. The Reza amp is always the pre-tone stack master. It's always got the clipping diodes. It's voiced a little differently. It's voiced to be even a little heavier sort of sounding. How that amp was born is it sort of was my take on a version of the Fortin Meshuggah kind of amp, and which is essentially what I just described. But
yeah,
it's funny, the Fortin Meshuggah has a few things from me in there.
Yeah, right.
The way that couple snubbers were done and stuff.
Is that I know what you mean by that, on this, how the split plates, is that you're seeing this? There's a schematic for that floating around. Is that dead on accurate?
I think
it's
so.
It's pretty simple amp at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's just a one channel, that's pretty accurate. One channel.
Yeah.
Jose.
Yeah, you can always tell, man, and I'm guilty of that too, right? But that split plate and putting the snubber on one.
Yeah, Bob Wagner took that too.
Yeah, right.
What did I miss?
We're just talking about. Yeah,
they were asking this question. I did this custom 50 amp for Reza. This guy Reza, Reza.
Great.
I know.
And essentially, it was my take on a Ford Meshuggah amp.
Okay,
because he wanted something like that. It was tweaked slightly past that, of course, but kind of started that concept, except two channels and things. And it's a pre-tone stack master Jose style amp where the first gain stage comes in and out for the two channels. So,
did you do the ferrite beads on that one?
No ferrite beads.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's. There's some weird, the Meshuggah amp, like the real Meshuggah amp, has some, the way that the screens, there's something about
the way the presence?
No, in the filtering. I think in the filtering, there was a couple cool little mods there that kind of made that amp sound like that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't think so.
I just saw one the other day. Yeah, I was inside one the other day.
I'm sure it wasn't a mistake.
No.
Could have been a mistake because the Meshuggah amps.
I guess it could.
The first Meshuggah amps that went out had so it had a vintage presence, but they also added the 4.7K resistor in there to ground.
Yeah,
which is totally wrong.
It just changes the sweep of the presence.
Well, no, it changes the whhole tail resistor to be
changes the voltages all the way through the phase inverter.
Yeah. So it and that wasn't supposed to be that way. That was a mistake. That was a mistake by George Metropolis who made them.
Oh, okay.
That's the kind of thing.
There was an error.
Yeah.
That happened.
That's like when you're doing it's a hybrid of the old and new style, but incorrect.
Yeah, there was an error.
Okay, I've got. Let's hit this question, and then we'll go to the pre post tone stack. Just while we're asking Dave questions, another question here for Dave. Aspects of the Jose recipe that are in the PT20.
Man, I mean, like, could you say that anything that has an extra gain stage in front is part of a Jose recipe in some respects? I mean, I guess. I mean, no, it's not exactly that, but the voltage divider is between the stages is totally different than the Jose. I mean, I guess it's close. You just had one of those, didn't you, Dan?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah,
I mean, the
I wanted
voltage
that
divider is a
more
little.
than-
The voltage divider is a little different. Okay, that's
The way it's done slightly different, but it's I
and
like
there's
that
no
one
negative
more than,
feedback in that amp, and there's a
Oh.
whole bunch of things.
Yeah, I like the V2 more than the first one.
Yeah,
Way
I agree.
cooler. Definitely a more fun and more dynamic amp.
It's more gain. It's more aggressive.
Yeah, it's way more aggressive.
Yeah.
I think the
Really
whole,
cool.
and again, we've talked about this at some point during the year, right? But the term,
When does it become not a Jose? That's what I don't know. How many parts changes do you change
I
before
just
it does
think
not
that
become a Jose?
it's become a generic term.
I don't think it ever does. It's a genre.
It's
I
a
mean,
modded-
it's like a
A
genre.
modded Marshall. People just say, like, it's got to the point now where a modded Marshall kind of style circuit, someone says, oh, well, it's a Jose mod. You know, well, okay.
Everything's a fucking modern Marshall.
Everything's a fucking Jose at the moment, which is why this show is like, this is what a real Jose is, you know? That's
Yeah.
what this one
Yeah.
is about. Yeah. Showing you
yeah.
what a real one is. Right.
Yeah.
Not like fucking everything else is just a Jose mod.
I do
Right.
hate when people do that though. Like they try to minimize, your work. Oh, it's just a modded Marshall.
It's just a Jose.
no,
yeah.
it's not.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like
okay,
it's
man.
bullshit.
I don't think
when
it's
people
good.
do that.
Is it on the
Whatever.
Jose spectrum? Okay, yeah, okay, maybe it is.
Dude.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, shit.
That's hard to even like put into words. I mean, like you choose values of a voltage divider that's between two stages, and that's sort of the basis of if it's a Jose or not.
I think
I don't know.
I think pretty much everyone in this industry is on the spectrum somewhere, man. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely on the Jose spectrum. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I was being way more broad than that. But anyway,
But
okay.
when you think about it, though,
Dan knows where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
I've said this before. He was the I mean, the real godfather of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like by far, no one was doing anything like it. The Lee Jackson mods weren't anything like this. I mean,
No,
he
it's
was
totally
more
different.
he was more the modern, what became the modern norm. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, Lee's stuff was nowhere near as gainy.
No, especially the early stuff was very weird. It
It's
didn't
like
have
it's-
the early
yeah.
stuff had a gain stage after the it was like a stock plexi-ish kind of circuit, and they put a gain stage after the EQ.
Yeah,
And-
it's
and
not
like, oh, that's really weird. And
It just doesn't. Yeah, I don't like that.
yeah,
and
it's
it
a
doesn't-
different thing.
doesn't work. And then I don't know where did the preamp come from? That's like
Well,
the more of a Mesa
seems to
Boogie.
be. Well, yeah, but the preamp, it seems to be a little bit more in line with the maybe like the Rivera era stuff.
Yeah,
I think it
yeah,
was
it's
inspired by, isn't
totally
it?
it's totally like a Rivera, which
Look,
which
guess
it's
more
like a
Defender.
modded Rivera. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the Lee worked with Paul, so that makes
yeah,
sense.
because I actually like the preamp thing more than the Marshall mods, a lot more. So I think it's just way cooler sounding.
When he got into the later mods where it was a gain stage in front of a stock Marshall or a stock 800, basically, that's basically kind of what it was. It started to get much better, like the later, like the
Yeah.
Ampeg gears and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Ampeg was cool.
Yeah, that
The
started
Ampeg
to
was
get
okay.
better.
He was
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was still
and-
super important. Lee Jackson. was
Yeah, and
still
the other
super
thing he
important,
did was
you know?
the M1000 head.
Yeah.
I think that was supposedly a little bit gainier as well.
Yeah, that was, if you look at the schematic of that, it's a gain stage in front of like an 800, basically. So the same thing
Yeah.
that was later used, couple tiny little mods and they get really good.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny too. It's like when you when you're learning how to do this, you'll take stuff from here and there, you'll take layout stuff. And the thing about Lee Jack, you can look at somebody's work and tell who inspired them sometimes, like even the component choices and all that stuff. But Cameron, if you look at some of the early Cameron stuff, you can definitely tell that he was inspired by Lee Jackson.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff that he did and a lot of the components that he used.
Yeah, like the lead dress and everything in certain places. Yeah,
the orange drops.
I guess, but except the circuit was totally Jose.
Totally different tone, but execution is kind of similar.
Yeah,
like in physically and everything. Yeah,
he had some good execution, man. He had some good ideas.
Did Mark ever work?
Sorry, go.
Sorry, Dan. No, you go.
Oh no, I was just going to say there's certain things though that I've seen that Lee did in his mods that I also saw in Jose's mods, and I sometimes wonder if I know Lee was often adding like tube loops and things to people's Jose amps because Jose wouldn't do a loop, for example, a tube loop or a buffered loop. And I always kind of wondered if Lee got ideas from what he saw in those Jose's, like the coily ground wire, the shield and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I see that loads in Lee's work. Like he used to do the same thing, like the coily, ground.
He showed that those old VHS tape videos that he showed all that, right? They were up on YouTube, but they got taken down, didn't they?
Yeah, he took them down because he was then selling them through like eBay and somewhere else. But then I think they just stopped making them. I think after a while. But I bought loads of those when he had them available way back when, before I even worked on amps. I bought them because I was kind of getting into this stuff, and I wanted to learn some things. And there's good things and bad things on those tapes.
His loop was good.
Yeah, his loop was fine.
His loop was fine. Totally.
Yeah, it's not that different to any kind of a good modern day tube loop.
Yeah, the loop was good. It sounded good.
There was an amp floating around in Australia that Brad's Guitar Garage ended up reversing back to a stock 2203. But this amp had been modded by a tech here following that VHS video.
Oh boy.
Kind of basically verbatim copy. And I had this amp in here for a minute. I didn't do anything with it. I think I had I don't know, something very minor that was wrong with it. But man, it sounded terrible, if I can say that. It's just not good. And because you got that gain stage after the EQ, might have even been after the master, I can't remember, but the master volume's almost unusable because it's just there's no kind of even taper on it.
Oh no,
I don't know, man. It's just
not
well, then you're supposed to use the phase inverter master to kind of
true, because then you had a cross line.
The one cool thing that he did though was the I like the variable treble cap. Mid shift control. That's actually really cool. Like you put that in. Some amps I've remodded over the years, and I've always, if that's in there, I just leave it, and it's just like, pick where you like. It doesn't matter, just fine.
Yeah, it's
cool. Pretty cool.
I left that in the VL 50 whatever they called that I modded. I did I completely removed all the rest of the circuit and redid the whole thing, but that's the one thing I left in there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I really liked it. I think it was a 6-way rotary or something, or 5 or 6-way. And it was great to be able.
Basically, just changes the treble cap value from starting at 250 picofarad.
Yeah.
To 4,700 picofarad to 001 to 0022 to 0033 to 0047.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool thing to have.
Very cool.
Jason, let's are we going to get back to the schematic here? This is this is a huge component right here. A massive component to that Jose stuff. So
Yeah.
who wants to go?
Well, I would say, like, we'll get into the guts of this, but I think, Shay, you're right. This is where I think certainly a lot of people that, when they talk about Jose mods, people will often connect that with diode clipping, right? Which we can see here, if anyone's looking at the schematic. Obviously, these Zener diodes here, D1, D2, and we'll talk about how all this stuff kind of works and fits together. But as you've said many times, Dave, 9 out of 10 Jose's didn't have diodes. Is that kind of something like that?
That's true. I mean, like, again, I don't know exactly how many I've worked on. It's got to be somewhere around 60 or something, right? And out of 60, maybe 10.
Yeah.
Out of 60 had it. So
yeah.
Do we know
there you go.
Do we know what he used? Do you know what he used
for
like
the diode?
The actual
20
component?
volt diodes.
20 volt transistors?
No, diodes.
Diodes, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, 20 volt Zeners.
Okay. Standard.
Big one, kind of big ones.
Big ones.
At the time.
Okay.
Big fat ones. I got the part number once, but it was a 20 volt Zener.
Yep. Okay, so the new stuff that's in here. So if people can recall the prior schematic, all we had were coming off the top of this 100K cathode resistor on the cathode follower. It was straight into the EQ here, and then from the treble wiper, we're into a new master volume, and then out to the phase inverter. Okay, so this stuff here, R7, C5, and these diodes are all new stuff. Okay, and this cap here, we have talked about the value of this cap quite a bit on a few previous shows as well.
He generally used 0.22 or 0.33 on all the ones I've seen.
Yeah.
So one of those two values.
Yeah. It's a big value. It's
that cap is pretty important. I mean, you can shape tone there for sure.
Ford used a 0.68.
Yeah, 0.68.
I've used everything from 0.22 up to 0.68.
Yeah.
And it all sounds good beyond, if the cap is big enough, because really the whole point of it is really to be big enough that it shouldn't really be having a big tonal shaping impact. Now, if you were to go smaller than, say, 0.1, I think you're going to hear it more.
Well, you definitely hear between 0.1.
Yeah.
It's sort of interesting. It's sort of the opposite happens that you think happens.
Yeah.
And you would think as the cap goes up, it gets sort of fatter or bigger on the low end, and sort of the opposite sort of happens.
Yeah.
Like if you use a 0.1 versus a 0.68, the 0.68 has much more mid-range to it, and the 0.1 has much bigger low end and a little more scooped sort of sounding.
There's something,
So,
but it's like, what is the cap doing? That's the important question here. So
decoupling.
So you're coming out of your cathode follower, and how much, you got tons of DC right there.
You got like 170. It's like this 10K washes off a little bit of that, but it's still.
So the purpose of that cap, purpose of the cap is to block the DC from getting on that pot right there.
Yeah.
And these Zener diodes, right? So if anyone wants to understand what's going on here, there are a bunch of, nothing to do with amplifiers, but if you look at Zener voltage clamping circuits, you can Google that and you'll find some really good explanations about what these guys are doing. But that only works. You've got to have, if there's a DC voltage sitting here, as that the Zeners are not going to work.
Right.
Right.
None of that shit works.
You got to have that. You got to have that blocking there.
Yeah.
This is basically like a voltage limiter, right? It's
like a limiter.
Clamping. Yeah. It's clamping and then clipping the top of the waveform and the bottom of the waveform. And again, another opportunity for tuning. If people are playing with this stuff, you can choose the voltages here. depending on how much compression and clipping you want at this
Yep.
point in the signal. And you can go as people have gone as low as 5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used 5 before.
Yeah.
There's like when you go from, you say like, Dave said 20 was what Jose was using, and that's kind of, from 20 to 5. Not only does it squash the waveform when you go lower, but there's something in the mid range too that happens to where like those more like a 20 volt versus a 10. There's way more mid range in those upper Zeners. So
Yeah.
it's just a huge part to tune. How you want your amp to sound.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like, like higher values are going to have more of a, because they're not clamping quite so hard at like say 20 or above 20, you tend to retain a little bit more of that kind of raspy edge on the tone, I think. Whereas when you go down lower and you really start to squash the signal down, I mean, you're clamping it so hard at a certain point that, you start to get a slightly more compressed vibe rather than just an angry kind of clipped tone. So I mean, there's advantages to both ways, and some guys like it way more clipped, and some prefer it to be more subtle, and
Yeah, I think for this circuit here, like the traditional Jose, 12 to 20 is probably perfect. Somewhere in the 20, it's exactly perfect right there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is also like there's the whole like there's the transistor thing as well. But transistors, even if you look at the data sheets on them, what they say they clip at essentially, the
reverse
the base
breakdown or
emitter
whatever.
The reverse breakdown voltage and everything. What it says it actually is. If you actually try one versus an actual Zener, it might not react the way you think.
Yeah, they do sound different. Yeah.
I've had that with like certain transistors, and like I'll use like various different types sometimes just for a tonal effect, because I'm already familiar with which ones kind of give a certain tonal impact, even if they've got like a similar, like even if you scope it and they drop the signal the same amount, the shape of the clip can be slightly different. And I think it's the same also with Zeners. But I've noticed though, like Zeners get really clipped quicker. So for example, like when you get down towards say like 12 or 10 volts with a Zener, it's almost like the same as what you get with a really, really low transistor. They kind of do it more aggressively. So
they're cool to look at on a scope. I always like looking at that on the scope.
Especially with the decade box hooked up with a load of different ones, and you try them all. That's usually how I'll choose what I'm going to use in any amp. If I'm doing a diode clipping thing, I won't just kind of go with what the recipe says. I'll be like trying them and playing it. Okay, try the next one. And
I haven't made that decade box yet.
No,
fun
but
one. You should.
Yeah,
I've got
one thing you
one,
can.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do with that has a very, very similar, if not the same, effect, is that if you lift this from ground and put a variable resistor in there, like just a pot, you can actually get that same effect, right? You can kind of lift it straight up.
In the ground zero mod.
Yeah.
Well, not the first time I've seen that.
Yeah, no,
but it's a cool way. Like it's a pretty cool way of like I've done it just in terms of tuning, like tuning something. It's not necessarily something I wanted to expose to the to the customer, good. But in terms of kind of like getting the right value in there, it's a cool way of doing it.
That's also in the Bogner amp.
Right.
What's the
Which
Bogner
one?
amp? The one that's
the Helios or something? No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, there's a series resistor in there.
Oh, I think there is. Yeah.
On one, is there more than one clip setting or something?
Yeah,
the Helios
more than one kind of clip in, and one of them's got a resistor. I can't remember. Yeah,
I think so. The Helios Eclipse,
the case,
or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it changes how how severe the clip is, but it doesn't give you the same shape of the clipping. That's the other thing to keep in mind, though. So you'd still have to kind of switch to different, devices and stuff. Like if you clip asymmetrically versus.
So Jason, okay. You got this pot here. You got the postmaster and you got the pre-master.
Yeah.
What's the difference here?
Okay. So Dave, this is a dual gang.
This is a dual gang pot, and often traditionally with a double push pull with a double pull, double throw switch on it. But the old, really good, well made versions of them.
Yeah. Not the ones you get now.
Also, generally speaking, the pots that were the actual pot, the dual pot that was used was actually a linear pot.
That makes sense.
Which really made the postmaster come on real fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, so there's a kind of
there's a fine science to all this.
Not a compromise per se, but you've got to make a decision. So one of the things, and again, something we have talked about on the show, anyone who has played with a pre-tone stack setup like this, where your master volume with clipping diodes before the EQ, and if you use an audio taper pot, as soon as those diodes go on there, the taper of the pot just completely changes.
I mean, if you play real quiet a lot, it works great.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. It's great for bedroom guys, that's for sure. But,
and it'll always get there. It's just a question of where on the pot that it finally gets there.
Yeah.
And some guys don't like that at all, though. Too
they don't. Well, this is the thing where, and Dave, I know you've had this 100 times in your group. In your Friedman Amps user group on Facebook, which is this amp is louder than this amp. Which is a common observation, right? No.
It's where the pot taper is.
Turn the fucking thing up, and then you'll see.
Right? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
People dial things in with their eyes.
Totally, man. Like, yeah, totally.
But you do like when you use an audio taper for this. I mean, for the post tone stack master, you usually want an audio taper there. It works well. Sounds good. But with this pre-tone stack, I mean, it's just night and day difference by how the sweep works.
The sweep is so different. I think you need to go. Yeah, so you go audio taper to linear and then to reverse audio are your three choices.
Yeah.
And
you've got three choices.
Yeah. Audio taper is great for a traditional master, post, either pre or post, but as long as it doesn't have diodes on it. If you're doing 20 volt Zenas, then you probably want linear. And if you're going down to 12 or less, then maybe reverse audio, you might look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Linear and 12 works good too. I mean,
generally, there's a crossover there, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, generally too, I think that the lower you go, when you have, either a linear or an anti-log taper, they're brighter. Like the sweep is brighter too. So there's kind of like there's a trade-off going on there too, because a 1 meg audio pot's going to be way darker in the tone.
Why?
It's just, you don't think so? That an audio taper
it would be exactly the same. It's just a question of how the pot is tapering.
I always thought
how it's audibly perceived, or
maybe it's how it's audibly perceived, how fast it comes on, this and that. But technically, if you measure the values that you're getting with the same output level, it should be roughly the same values you're getting. It's just a different spot on the pot.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know about that. I think
technically that's.
I mean,
true.
Look, from a
the way that the pot itself works and operates, I think
it's the same.
It's the same.
Well, I think about these things from a engineering perspective, physics perspective. It's the same. Is there an audible difference? Maybe it's just maybe it's the Fletcher Munson thing where you're getting like it's all of a sudden it's dialed in louder.
Yeah.
And so your ears are perceiving the highs and the lows differently.
I think that might be
know.
something that comes into play with that stuff, definitely.
But if you look at it, if you take the two pots and you set it for the same volume, and then you actually measure the resistance from input to wiper versus wiper to ground, they're the same.
Yeah, that should be the same. Yeah.
It's just a different spot on the rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a voltage divider. So
Yeah.
How you get the sweep of the pot is affecting how you get there. But once you arrive at the destination of your division, it's technically the same.
Yeah.
Couple of super chats here. So Randall,
Be
Atkin,
interesting
hey,
test
man.
though.
Yeah, someone should do a video on that one. Hi guys, love the show. First time I've caught it live. Keep
Randall Aiken, hey man.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
hey.
that's right. Yeah.
Hell
Now-
yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
He shared
Just,
loads of really cool stuff.
He watches
website-
Stone Talk a lot.
That's awesome, man. Their website, the Aiken Amps website, all right? This is the one. So much good information on there.
Oh,
I
man,
know.
tons. I learned loads from Randall's stuff.
Randall, I'm going to ask you again. Come on our show.
You,
You don't have to
absolutely
promote
should.
anything. You don't have to have anything to promote. You can just talk about whatever.
Man, your white papers that he has written and put up on his website, it's just pure gold.
Yeah, agreed.
Just so thankful that you've done that, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for all the stuff you shared. It's really really gone a long way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've all learned from it.
Oh yeah, man. That's just and again, if anyone hasn't checked out Aiken stuff, then you got to go and have a look. Walrus, Dave, thanks for adding more gain to my BE50. I hope adding more gain didn't offend you. Is it still in your shop?
It's still here. It's leaving Monday.
Okay. What did you do, man? You don't have to spill all the beans, but how did you add more gain to that thing? It's already got a lot of gain.
Yeah, I know. Not for him. I messed around with the voltage divider between the first stage and the
There you
next.
go.
There you go.
I added
Nice
a
one.
little bit more gain.
Yeah. Bit more juice. Nice
A
one.
little bit more juice.
Okay, so Dave, this push-pull. So we've got a dual gang linear taper, 1 meg
Double
pot,
pole, double throw.
double pole, double throw.
Hard to
and
find.
Very hard
Yeah.
to find.
They
And this
never
is the
come
one
up.
that had the crazy pop, right?
Well, there's the you can get the one that's a dual 1 meg double pole, double throw audio,
Yeah,
which will work. I
yeah.
mean,
The new production one is okay. It
it's
works
okay,
all right.
but man, honestly, doing that switch on the pot with the two pots, it's just a terrible idea in general
yeah,
because there is so much crosstalk
Yeah.
and
yeah.
bleed to
Oh, yeah.
try and the two pots being so close together, and
yeah.
it's kind of terrible. And I mean, you can get it relatively, if you're very careful with lots of shielded wire and everything, you can get it relatively acceptable, but the pre-tone stack master will always have tons of bleed with the master at 0.
Yeah.
It's easy to limit that bleed and everything when you just separate them.
Yeah, it's you can get it really good if you separate them, which again is why on the Jose production amp it's separated.
Yeah,
You know,
It is such a hang up with this mod. I mean, that I can't tell you how many amps I've had come through with just crazy amounts of bleed.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's-
But
this is a big part of this mod.
This
that a
is
lot of
interesting
people
though.
don't.
This is something that's kind of interesting. So let's explain about the switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to go into that, Jason?
Yeah. Well, I was just looking at it again, right? So double pole, double throw. So you can imagine for anyone
Actually,
who's-
it's drawn wrong.
okay.
So the line for the normal
When you say normal, you mean the post?
I'm meaning to the opposite way it's switched right now. The postmaster.
Oh yeah.
That line doesn't come after that coupling cap. It comes right off the high voltage.
Yes.
Oh,
So which one? Sorry,
True,
the
yeah.
one that the post tone stack.
Sorry, move your yeah, okay, so over off the cathode of the tube. Go down.
R8. Yep, right there.
Well, yeah, but I wish I could point.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you switch over, when that's the line that's feeding
line
the
here.
tone stack,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
comes right off the B plus, not the B
that's
plus,
right
the
up
cathode,
Yeah.
raw
Yeah.
cathode.
Right off
10K.
100K. Yeah.
So traditionally, that came right off there.
Okay.
And in turn, you have 170 volts DC right on that switch.
Yeah, it's right on it.
Right. Good catch. No, you're right.
And-
because you can't get to that. You can't get to that postmaster with the 10K and the 0.2.
And
Yeah.
well, I mean, you can do
We
it this
can.
way.
It'll work, but it's
I
just
wound
not-
up changing. I wound up changing the Jose amp to the way this is written now. Because
Yeah.
if it's done like it was done originally, there is such a pop.
That's the pop, right?
Oh
fucking
no, it's
bang.
not a pop. It's like
Yeah,
it's like
crack.
an M80 firecracker went off in your room.
Yeah. It's like a gunshot.
It's
But
like
it's right on the phase
bang.
inverter, like you're like wide open on the phase inverter here. So and a big DC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's really
It's
about
hefty.
switching the 170 volts on the contact of that switch. That's a huge pop. So if done the way it's written here, actually works better, and it's
Yes.
minimally different in sound.
Yeah.
Maybe just a smidgen different, but not enough to care. So it actually works a little bit better. Definitely works better this way.
Yeah.
But so when you switch this switch over and it goes to the normal post master,
So these guys will go this way
yep,
and that way.
And it has the post tone stack master, the standard 800 style master.
Mm-hmm.
Your clipping diodes are still doing something.
They're still in a
Always.
circuit.
This is a
They're always
common
there.
misconception.
Yeah. I actually think, I don't even know if Jose thought it did something at the time, but
Yeah.
so any amp that has this push-pull master, the clipping diodes are always in
They're
Yeah.
always in.
to a
I've
certain
seen
thing, isn't it?
comments from like other modders where they're saying, "Oh yeah, when it's pushed in and you're in the post tone stack master, there's no clipping." Not true.
Mm-mm.
Not true at all.
Not true at all.
No, that's clipping. So
Yeah,
so
you see how
when
it's
I did
done.
the Jose amp, you have a gain style switch on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has pre-tone stack master, which is like we showed there.
Mm-hmm.
It has the standard 3-in-1 post master, no clipping diodes. And then it has the post tone stack master with the clipping diodes in. So you have basically all the iterations you would have had in all these amps.
Yeah.
Because, well, I wanted to put all the different things in the amp.
So there's actually 3 master volume modes, if you like, Dave, in that. You've got the pre-tone stack with diodes, post-tone stack with diodes, post-tone stack no diodes.
Correct.
Right?
So
Yeah, that's cool.
so you can have
Cool.
your standard 3-in-1 thing. You can have your standard lower gain diode thing, and then you can have your highest gain diode thing with the pre-tone stack master.
Yeah.
That's cool as.
And it's really interesting to see on the scope too what happens with the pre-tone stack master. Sonically, well, obviously there's more gain, but sonically and on the scope, you'll see the high end dip
Yeah.
Yeah.
The signal.
and the low end come up.
Yeah, it's a weird
almost like a
waveform, isn't it?
resonance kind of thing where it's got a thump to it.
Yeah,
And like kind of clipped a lot of top end off, that happens. And it has this low end thump to it. And generally speaking, on the amp, you have to now then change your EQ because it's too much low end. If you had your bass on 10 before, now you're like backing it way the hell back because it's just it's too much.
The mids can get weird too, like the
Yeah,
mid pot can get real active with a lot of clipping. And
yeah, it's a different thing. So
Yeah.
it's more hyped. I call it more
Yeah.
hyped sounding.
Yeah.
It's more aggressive sounding, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely there's a little bit more of that kind of there's a tiny little bit of like a nasally thing in the mid range going on, like when you've got loads of gain dialed in, which I love.
That's when you got to change the slope resistor.
Yeah, but I like it. I like that kind of
You
real,
like it?
Aggressive, like just gnarly kind of thing.
Yeah.
Great is what I love about that circuit.
Yeah,
I think
it's super cool.
This circuit here, just that part that we're talking about, this is why that this style of amp, that you can't do it with a pedal, because
agreed.
This is all the way at the end of the preamp, right before the tone stack, and this is doing a lot of stuff. It's impossible to recreate it without being in the amp, I think.
Yeah.
Oh man, 100%. But I've got that. I've actually got an amp. So that pre-tone stack master. So we're saying how you get that kind of like, Dave, you've described it as like a loudness button on a stereo, the old loudness button,
Yeah.
It's
except
diodes.
it doesn't get brighter.
No, but you get that bottom end, you get that kind of thump. That's almost sub bass that comes into play. The diodes, like I've played with this a lot, right? You put the pre-tone stack in, lift the diodes, put the diodes back in. It's there. That's what's doing that, right? That subby thump thing. I mean, there's obviously a bit more kind of compression that comes from it. But even if you set the amp up on the scope so that the waveforms are identical and pretty much clipping at the same level, the diodes make a huge difference.
Yeah,
Finally.
Absolutely. They give it like that kind of laser beam kind of like sort of response, that kind of thing. When you dig in, you feel it instantly, like the difference.
Yeah, it's big in the field department. Huge,
very much.
So here's the interesting thing: when you said loudness control, right? So what was the loudness control for?
So when you had
low volumes,
right?
Volume,
and you wanted to do this,
make it,
So when Jose described to me what this was, because he offered this first getting the mod, I didn't have this put in, but he offered it. When he described it, he goes, yeah, the out position is for like people that play really low volume.
Yeah,
that's how he described. He goes, yeah, it's really for low volume playing.
Right.
And the in position was for people that were going to play with a lot of volume. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Absolutely. If you say that, but and that also describes the loudness control.
Yeah.
Did he have a name for this feature? Like
not that I recall. I don't
just
remember. It goes how it's about
it was
how
usually just labeled, wasn't it? MVC.
Yeah, MVC. Yes, and it never didn't say
really
pull or anything.
No.
But there's another variation thing that he did. Now, in that schematic that's out there in the world that we showed briefly for a minute, it basically has most of this stuff, except the front end's done a little differently. They have a gain stage in front of the treble channel, and they have a gain stage in front of the bass channel. And then the both feature is tied at the input of the amplifier. And generally that switch, it was really interesting because that switch, if you see like on some of Joe Holmes amps and stuff, there's a little hole in the wood that is to the right of the input jacks. Right of the input jack. And that little hole is a little rotary switch, and you would change it with a screwdriver. And that switch was the switch that's written in that schematic. That's tying the two inputs together, like in a bridge mode or not.
Yeah.
So, and
I've
seen it on Joe's amp. I've seen it on an amp that was done for David Lee Roth that I worked on that a friend of mine owns. And I like sussed that out. I go, okay, wait, what is this? Oh, I see. That's that switch. That's to tie them or not tie them. So in that original schematic, that little switch that's in the middle of the inputs there.
I know the one. Can we bring it up? Can we bring it up?
It was a little tiny the hole that was drilled in the thing.
I saw on all of his amps it had that same hole, and I always thought maybe it was like
if it had the two pots, the two push-pull pots. It had that.
I always just wondered if it was like one of those Fender CTS bias pots or something.
Then you know that one right there. Now the potential for disaster in this amp is immense. Like if what happens. Well, first of all, if you blend the two channels together and then you take out the one gain stage, aren't they out of phase then?
Yeah.
It's
so what happens then?
That's
I don't know. This one seems a little flawed to me. This one seems more flawed than others, but I think initially it was, if you're going to use it with gain, you maybe you tie the channels or you could use either input if you wanted like a super bass modded amp, so to speak. You use the bass channel if you wanted, and this was a little flawed to me, this one, but it works.
It's a cool one. It's got a tone of its own compared to the three.
I've also seen.
Oh, look at that! Oh, the present. Yeah. That's the present. Sorry.
I've also seen this done where the bass channel has been converted to. See, this one doesn't have a 0.68 across that 820. I've also seen where this one has the bass channel converted to a lead channel. So it's a duplicate lead channel that ran in parallel, but mixed together without a bright cap. I don't know why this was done, but it's
this schematic has some errors for sure.
Well, it does.
This is correct.
It's pretty good. I was just looking at the wiring, so because we were talking about the push-pull master, which is
this one had transistors. That's how that's written.
Yeah.
Dude, I got a quick funny story.
MPS A06s probably.
It's a quick funny story, and it involves Dan. So when you go on back in the day when I'm like doing all this research and like spending all the time on the forums and stuff, trying to learn how all this shit works.
Yeah.
There was so much good info on the old Metro forum.
It's all gone now.
God, it sucks. That sucks. That's gone. That needs to be in an archive.
Machine.
I remember when this got posted, there was a thread when this got posted, and Dan goes, "What the hell's that?"
Yeah.
Like, what's and that this was like what, 2006?
Oh, a long time ago,
yeah. But it was cool to just like read this thread while you guys were all figuring it out in those years.
Yeah.
It was awesome, man.
Yeah, well, I had like no experience with anything, Jose. Like, and that was way back when I was barely even tinkering with amps myself. So
that's 20 years ago.
I remember looking at that and thinking, "What the fuck is that symbol?" Like,
well, this is the thing, right?
Is it a slider? Like someone's drawn a graphic for a slider or something? Or
this is a schematic. It's like it's a hybrid of like a physical layout wiring diagram and an actual schematic. There's no symbol.
No,
right? you won't find this in your schematic library.
It is correct. You don't know which way they're flipped.
You won't how you draw it, right?
It's
like the NPN or PNP transistors that's not the symbol for them.
You know what? If you look at it, the legs that get clipped you can see
Yeah.
he's left like little bits, like they
You
wouldn't
can see
actually
them.
clip them.
Hilarious.
Yeah, you can.
never
It's
clip
funny.
those off.
Hilarious.
Yeah, you can't even clip those little bits off fully. Never. Like
So the dude, whoever drew this, was like,
This
I have
is-
no fucking idea what these are, so I'm just going to draw it as I see them.
yeah, this
Like,
was
I
this
think
was one
Mark
of the guys
Cameron
on
drew
Metro.
this.
This was a guy who
I
used
think
to.
this
I
is
think
Mark
his-
Cameron.
You reckon Mark Cameron
this
drew
was done
this?
by
I think so.
no, this was done by Sam.
Oh, you
It
know.
was guy Hey Sam, I think his username was, because he had
Okay.
a bunch of other schematics up, and I've still got them. I've got like
Okay.
tons of like this stuff on file, and yeah, this was from that guy. Because this particular amp was a white JCM 800 4-input model.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
Okay.
Now, there's another interesting
Think it
thing about
was,
the
yeah.
JCM 800s. So
yeah.
the 4-input JCM 800s that I have seen of Jose's,
Mhm.
oh God, it was a mess. He would add a separate input and a separate gain pot to the left of the 4 inputs.
Yeah, it's
Right?
weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he would tie in that gain stage through a 68K resistor to the stock 2 68K resistors that existed in the high and low, high low jacks.
Yeah.
So just like if if the standard standard input
Yeah.
was there, right? So in reality, you had a 68K with a 33K to ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
So
the best way to
those
do it,
amps,
is it?
those amps were done like that, and often those amps were done with that gain stage being the parallel gain stage.
Yeah.
So I had a friend of mine that since passed away, but he had one, and the first gain stage that was added to the amp to the left of those 4 inputs was a parallel gain stage feeding, well, a little more gain, feeding a voltage divider that had a little less gain. Kind of made sense in some ways.
Yeah.
What's
And
up with
all of them were that way. He just added it to the left because he didn't want to mess around with the PC board and changing all the shit. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that was the reasoning behind it. And then
That's
his amp had that gain stage, and then the rest was a pretty stock amp,
Yeah.
other than master added. Didn't have the push pull.
Yeah. You can see.
And then there's
you can-
one other variation of a Jose too, where I've seen where he puts in
I got the leak.
a voltage adjustment switch on the first tube.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
yeah,
a
yeah.
rotary.
A rotary switch on the first tube. And what it was a bunch of different resistors to ground off the B plus.
Yeah.
Whatever the B plus that was feeding the tube, he would have a resistor then running to ground, and it would in varying amounts of them. Yeah, it wouldn't
just on this
wouldn't
stage here, Dave. Just
y-
right up
yeah,
on B1.
yeah. It wouldn't series more, in series or anything like that. He would actually have a voltage divider, so to speak, on the B plus, and varying amounts. And boy, that switch popped too. But
This sounds insane. What kind of resistances
Yeah.
was he putting to ground?
you know what?
Like,
I have it
range?
written down somewhere, and I'd have to find it.
That
Dave,
sounds
was
so
this
weird.
was this in the amp that Reza brought into you?
No, not his amp.
There was. I remember way back, Reza told me that he brought 2 Jose's to you. And
Yeah,
I remember
the
he
2
sent
Jose's.
me
No,
some
that wasn't in.
pictures from your bench, I think.
I don't think. No, Reza had a Jose.
There
I don't know if
was one time where I think he picked up 2 Jose's.
Yes,
at
he
the
got
same
2
time.
from the same guy.
Oh.
One was
Yeah.
heavily unmodified and fucked with.
Okay.
And one other one wasn't. And I don't recall. Maybe his had it, maybe his didn't. I can't recall.
I seem to think I saw it in that amp. It had like a weird, a big
And a knob in the back.
Yeah,
And-
like a big,
and-
like old-fashioned rotary dial.
Yeah,
And
big
he-
rotary.
And he took Jose made little drill marks where each
yeah.
position was. So it was just like little holes, little tiny, not holes all the way through,
Yeah. The
but
picture I
burnished
seem to
holes in
remember
each.
seeing, like,
And I've seen a few of these amps, and so you can adjust the B plus on the first stage.
yeah, it looked
And
like
that's really
it was wired
fun.
up like an attenuator, like an old-fashioned stepped attenuator thing.
It's really fun learning what it does.
Yeah. That's a
and
big part,
how
too.
it sounds, and
Yeah.
I love that. Although it was a little weird implementation, I think, of how it was done, but I've
That's so true,
probably
though.
done
That is that's a huge
four or five amps have had that have come through, and that's how I learned I really like 140.
Yeah.
Because
right.
you start like going, oh no,
Yeah.
not that, and then you
Yeah.
start going, that's maybe too less gain. The voltage gets too high, it gets too clean,
Yeah.
and it loses some of the gushy feel, So yeah, that's fun. I have the actual schematic written down somewhere, but
I think those two amps, Dan, that Reza, because Dave, you did work on both those. I'm pretty sure. Didn't one?
yeah. So one went to Jeremy.
Yeah, I was going to say Jeremy
from
from Ground Zero got
and
one.
one went
Yeah.
to that. I refurbished both of them.
Yeah.
The one that was totally the Jeremy's one was totally fucked. But we restored it to what it should be.
Yeah.
Reza's was relatively intact, and then I restored that to what it, as good as it could be for what it was.
Yeah.
New filter caps and different, cleaned it up
Sure.
and made it sound as good as it could sound for it was a 3-in-1. It wasn't anything like crazy, it
No.
was just simple. But it did sound great.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if he still has it or if he sold it.
I don't know. I haven't spoke to him in a while.
I don't know. I don't
Reach out to him.
He used to have it still, and I don't know if he still has it. I still have mine.
Yeah.
Dave, what happened? The Black Flag 100 that you mentioned right at the beginning of the show.
So that got sold. That got sold years ago. That got sold to Lon Cohen Studio Rentals, who originally was the manager of Andy Brower Studio Rentals. So I knew him for years.
He's been on your show. He's been on Tone Talk.
Yeah,
hasn't he?
I sold it to him at one point in time. Right at that point in time, when I sold it to him, you didn't really know the values of these amps weren't that big. Black Flag, Black Sea, you didn't really. It wasn't worth more than $500-600. Well, the
Amazing.
mod was worth more. I don't know if I don't remember what I sold it to him for, but it probably was in the tune of $1,500 or something like that at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe it was less. I don't really remember. And he had it in his rental stock for years. And then finally he sold it for like, I don't know. I don't know what he got for $15,000 or $20,000 for it, I think.
Shit.
I did ask him before he sold it, can I buy it back?
How much you got?
He goes, but I'm not going to pay,
You got 20 grand. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It was a really good. Do I wish I hadn't have sold it? Maybe.
We all got that.
Was it the
feeling, though.
best? Was it the? I can barely remember if it was the best one I've ever heard. I don't think it was the best one I've ever heard because knowing the Black Flag amp, it had the big transformers and the higher plate voltage and it has the big fat stack transformer. It wasn't like maybe the ideal platform for it. I think the one I have now sounds better. Although looking back at a few things I recorded with it, it sure sounded good.
Yeah.
So, but I do have detailed pictures of it,
Nice.
like
Very
like
cool.
40 pictures of it,
Yeah, wicked.
like real detailed. But it was a gain stage in front of the stock Marshall. It's basically what I described.
Was
in
it
there.
the first? The first one we showed,
Yeah.
right? The single
Yeah.
gain stage with
That's
the
what it was.
standard
Exactly.
master.
Exactly.
Cool.
And then at some
Um,
point in time, I think Bogner worked on it, and he changed the he changed the presence pot to the newer wiring. Because I think maybe the presence pot I had originally, the old pot was bad or something, and then he changed it. Yeah, this is better. I'm like, okay, I guess not really, but
knowing what you know now, I don't know.
As I said you know what? I keep going
way.
back and forth on this. It's like there's sometimes like just the standard 800 presence thing is cool. I mean, I don't know.
I just like the 5K linear, man. It just kind of just works. And
the taper, yeah, but if you start comparing things, sometimes it sounds a little anemic. It's weird.
What do you do, Dan? Like, how do you normally do yours, Dan? Are you normally 5K linear just the old way?
Well, it really depends. Like I've had a few curveballs over the last year where I've done a couple of amps, and I had an idea up front of which was going to be best suited for it, so I did that. And then, as usual, as we all do, you then start to think, oh shit, what if, maybe I should just switch it out. It's only like 5 minutes. What harm can it do, right? So 5 minutes turns into like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And then you realize you're sitting there like back and forth. Do I like this more? Do I like that more? And then, I've had a few times where I've ended up going with the 5K style one, and then just deciding that I liked a different cap value. I know that it's typically like 5K and with the 0.1, but
now 0.2 can be cool. 0.3 can be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
I just
have you ever gone the opposite direction though?
Yeah, I did a Jose.
Lower?
I did a Jose on a JTM 45 recently, and that one I ended up trying both ways, and I was like, I wasn't loving it either way. And then I went back to the 5K, the old style way, and then I ended up using, I think it was like a 0.47. I think it was about a 0.33 or 0.47, something that was a little bit bigger. I didn't like 0.68 there in that amp, but I did like I think it was 0.47. And just in that amp, it ended up being that, for example, like the next one could be totally different. But I do like the taper of the 5K. The 25K, where it blocks the blocks the scratchiness and everything. You kind of do really
reverse.
You need the reverse taper, but then you got to find the right part, and you got to piss around with all that stuff.
Yeah, but then in reality, that 25K should probably be like reverse audio taper 50K, to be honest, because the 25K doesn't go as far as dark as like say a 5K turned down. No. So really, you got to isolate that cap even more from the circuit. So this is something also I haven't experimented with, but I think reverse audio 50K is easier to get than a 25K.
You can see the comment on screen there from Michael for MI Audio, Michael Ibrahim. 25K reverse audio JCM presence, best of both worlds in my experience. Yeah, cool, man.
Although 25K is harder to find.
Yeah, 50K, I think you 50K is easier. Yeah.
Have you guys ever? Here's a question for you guys. We've talked about the present circuit quite a bit, and a lot of people, 0.1, right, the traditional value, and then everybody goes up with that value.
Yeah, fatter.
0.2, 0.3, 0.4, whatever. Have you ever tried the opposite direction, like a 0.047?
I have.
I remember what it's. You haven't?
Be right back.
I
haven't. No.
I have, and I ended up trying it not because it was my own idea to try it. It was in an amp. It had been put in an amp, either like it was a wrong value or it was a mod that someone had done. And to be honest, it sounded good. In that amp, it sounded totally okay. I think the pot ended up coming out in the end because I was just going to replace all the pots with brand new pots, and in the process, I ended up then changing the presence circuit anyway to kind of like what I naturally would have used at the time.
Yeah.
But no, I'm all for whatever suits the amp. I don't care what the value looks like on paper. I've got no care at all for the rules.
It's
So,
something that's been on my mind recently, man. That value, like, because it's like everybody goes up with it.
yeah,
I haven't had the chance to try it, but I'm like, I want to go down and see what the sweep is like that and try that, because I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
do it. Yeah, try it and see. I mean, the other thing is you can also
It's going to change the frequency bleed off, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, it's going to be more kind of high top end,
super high.
That's what I want. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
that's all you, man. That's all you.
Yeah.
A sizzle on top.
Shit, I just put out some ideas. But
yeah, man, it's cool. I mean, it's also going to interact slightly differently if you've got like depth controls and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
So, but it's all good.
The other thing about the 0.68 like cap on a vintage presence style, I don't like it as much as on the modern style wiring.
Agreed.
And personally, I kind of like it on the modern style wiring with a 5K. So the original late 70s amps had 0.68 with a 5K pot, but wired like a newer style thing. So they were always, I mean, that's what I did on the Jose. So you got a vintage style wiring or a modern style wiring. And it's interesting because unlike just the basic 3-in-1, I actually kind of like the 0.68 because it fattens up and gives a little more mid growl to everything,
Yeah.
And on the for sure on the pre-tone stack master with the clipping diodes, I like the 0.1 because that just it already is thick. Doesn't need to be thicker. I know Cameron always used the 0.68.
Yeah. I saw
he
those
always
videos where he double up caps in parallel, to get there.
Yeah.
Well,
I've got one right here.
He would take whatever things with laying on the floor and parallel them.
a little bit.
Oh no, that's really what happened.
No, man.
I'll tell you what, he had the Jose figured out pretty early though. Like I've got one here that he did from 1999. Yeah. So and it's pre-tone stack, has the 0.47. It's got I think it's got transistors. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's 1999. So he had it pretty early compared to a lot of people.
Well, he had access to that stuff as well because he was wasn't he the guitar tech for Brian J from Keel?
Oh, I don't know
about that, but he got to see
tech for him or something at one point.
I'm not sure.
That's what I heard. Yeah. And that for sure, I know that amp mark had been in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's telltale signs in that one, in that Jose. So yeah.
Back when people used real amps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And had real tones.
Yeah.
The good old days.
Well, I went to, just on that, I actually went to a festival here on Friday. It's called the Good Things Festival, which Tool headlined.
Real amps.
Real amps on stage, right? And that was the observation because I was looking through the day. I didn't get there for the beginning of the festival because they're like, the freaking long days when you're in your 50s. Not like when we're in our 20s, right? It was very different. But I'm looking around like I can't see a fucking amp anywhere until Tool came on. I was like,
That's sad. That's so sad.
And it had a different different impact too, didn't it?
Oh man, they sounded freaking amazing. They always do. I mean, I've seen them so many times, but
there's nothing I love seeing more than someone jumping around on stage with nothing behind them.
It's kind of weird, right?
It's just weird, isn't it?
It's so fucking weird. I'm just like going, oh god, this is so depressing. I fucking was like, I had seen the Darkness recently.
Mm-hmm.
I went and hang out with them, and fucking real amps on stage, loud.
rock and roll band.
proper.
That's a real rock and roll
So
band. too.
good, so
Yeah.
good. It was impressive, you know.
Good old
And,
British rock and roll.
Real loud and just proper laying down a rhythm and just oh god, you know. But the opening band had, you know, which I met the guitar players because they came up to me during the set. Hey, you're blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah. But the opening band guitar players, of course, are using quad cortex or something. And it's just like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'd like to be using a real amp though.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah. You know, they're just talking my leg off. And they were cool guys. I go, yeah, it sounds more proper, like what you're hearing right now. Because they're talking to me as the darkness is playing. You know,
This thing I'm trying to listen to right now.
This thing I'm trying to listen to right now while you're talking to me.
That thing.
Yeah. And see the punch. There's a totally different thing about the punch of everything. It's just like they were just fuck.
It's real energy coming off the stage, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
You can
So
feel
here's a
that
guy.
energy.
Here's a guy that's still using.
They'll never change.
Oh, they
that
won't
either.
No,
Darkness won't ever change that.
That's like
because-
the guys from Airborne who I've done some.
Oh,
work
yeah.
for.
Fuck that.
So
Yeah, of course.
Airborne are awesome.
Joel, the local boys, right? The Melbourne guys, right? And so I've worked on a stack of their amps. They even went into they were rehearsing for the latest album, and I went and did a day with them in their rehearsal room.
Ooh, loud.
Where we actually worked. We had amps open, and I was working on them while Joel was playing and stuff.
Yeah.
Loud. Oh my god, we got into this room. It's not a very big rehearsal room, right? I just looked around the room and counted it, and there were like, I lost count after 20 heads. I lost count.
Yeah.
Probably there were like 16 Marshall heads, a couple of Wizards, a couple of old PVs, PV Butcher, and a couple of other things. And on both sides of this room were 4x12 cabinets stacked too high, all the way down.
Awesome.
And there's a drum kit kind of like down one end of the thing. And I'm like, looking, it's like, how long have you guys been in here? And he's like, 8 weeks. I was like, and he's playing, man, he's playing in this room. I put my earplugs in, man, because it was like, you just couldn't be in it. You could not be in that room. And he's just playing the whole time. I was like, how do you? Because this is how we do it. I was like, fuck, man.
Proper.
Oh yeah.
They're
So
probably
loud.
deaf by now.
Oh, probably.
Probably like
man.
totally deaf as fuck.
You'd have. There's just no way you could.
Yeah.
You could, so here's the guy still using real fucking amps on stage. Tracy, hey man.
He sure is.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Definitely.
2 or 3
Yeah.
of them, I think.
Man.
Yeah. Amps that he built himself now.
Yeah.
Even better.
Very cool.
Well, if he gets smart, he's gonna try that Jose mod we just put up today.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna.
Yeah.
yeah, we're bringing it to me.
That's my goal. My
Good
goal.
luck.
I can't get this
Good
to
luck.
work.
Dave, my goal with some of the help that I've been providing Tracy is to make sure he doesn't have to bring it to you. So it's only
Oh,
you.
yeah?
Yeah. I'll do my best, man. I'll do my best. Randall, hey man. Yeah, thanks for the nice comments about my website. I appreciate it. Maybe one of these days I'll get into this newfangled video stuff. I think the internet thing might catch on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you should go on Tone Talk, man. That would be so cool.
Come on,
Yeah.
Randall. Come on, Tone Talk. Come on. It's
Yeah.
really simple.
It's really
It'd
cool thing.
be amazing. Yeah.
It'd be good chat.
Yeah. And then this, that stuff is captured for all time. Like this is a good.
Yeah.
The great thing about Tone Talk, Dave, is you build up this massive, like, library of information now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's really
I hope Mark keeps backing it up just in case.
Yeah.
It's been, that show has been amazing for the industry.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's so cool you guys did that.
Oh yeah, man.
I know.
Fucking
Sometimes
amazing.
you got to go after people hey, I'd love to get this guy on. I wonder if I can get him. And then you like start going after it. Well, well, website contact. No shit.
Yeah.
This contact. No shit. The one guy I want to have on, and if anyone knows him personally, I did send a contact to his website, but I would like to get Billy Squire on.
Oh yeah,
because man, talk about vintage amps and vintage guitars and like gear and that would be fun.
That would be sick. Yeah.
You ever want to see a rock and roll show? There's some great footage of a whole concert from Billy Squire from like 1980 or something on YouTube. Whole entire concert, and that was just like crushing,
so
crushing good rock and roll. Like really good.
That would be
I think
cool.
there's 2 different concerts. One's from the Santa Monica Civic and one from somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
The full show and the tones. Oh my God. The Marshalls and fucking, oh my God. It's just unbelievable.
We've got a couple of super chats here we're going to get through, guys. I know we're at the 3-hour mark, but we've got to get through these super chats. So I'll just hit them. Dave,
being 100.
This must be Dave's choice. I'm thinking is what this reference to.
The
new
DLF
BE100.
100. Yeah, it's simplified. It has no switches. Almost no switches. It has a couple switches.
Basically set as you would
set
have
the
it.
way I would want it.
Yeah.
And there's some beautiful quality to that because it's like it doesn't give. The unfortunate thing about a lot of switches is it gives people the opportunity to ruin it.
Yeah.
To just set it all wrong and no, you don't use that in the center. No, don't. Oh God. Okay.
Yep.
This is true, man.
True.
Yeah.
This is so
Sometimes
true.
strip down is the way to go.
Sometimes just like strip down is the way to go.
It is. If people can fuck it up, they will fuck it up for sure. Flesh 84 again, $5. Thank you. What, if any, mods would you make to the SLO 100 to modernize it? We talked a bit about this, I guess, on the last show to some degree.
Yeah.
The only thing you would do is tighten it up, maybe.
Tighten it up.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. Well, the loop, forget about the loop.
Yeah.
I think the first thing you could do is like that first coupler. If you change that first coupler to a 0.0022, you'll instantly.
I
mean, as the most
better,
simpler thing you could do,
or maybe even lower.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on what you're going for, what kind of sound, or depends on if you have a depth circuit in there or not, or something.
Lower values.
Depends on what the filtering is in the amp. It depends on a lot of things. I personally would change the filtering.
Oh, we'll just put a pre-tone stack master in it.
Oh, yeah. I'd do it.
I mean, you could do that.
You could do
if you
that.
wanted to modernize it, you could do it like that.
You could do
sure.
that.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
I'll give it a go.
Someone else's amp, man. Do it on a reissue. Do it on one of the new amps and whatever, right? Do whatever you like to one of those.
Oh man, I've drilled holes in the originals. I don't care.
I don't do that anymore, man. I've kind of got this thing about I don't know.
I used to think about it like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, but I'm like, fuck it, it's not my amp, it's their amp.
Yeah.
If they choose to do it, then it's up to them.
Their amp. They do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason, Dave, Shay, and Dan for the great discussion. Greetings from Jakarta. Hey, man.
Hey, Jakarta. Wow.
Down in my part of the world.
Very welcome.
Okay, Brad, I've stopped using silver micas at all. Any supposedly redeemable qualities are outweighed by reliability issues, high cost, lack of availability, and large packages for the given voltage ratings. What are your opinions? I stopped using silver mica caps probably, 8 years ago, I reckon.
Yeah, I stopped using quite a while ago too.
I never started.
No value.
Yeah, there you go.
I never started. I never liked them.
No.
So, yeah.
I messed with them for a bit and then just went on to the Vichy ceramics or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vichys are good. They're fine.
Yeah.
Orange
No, I
ones or
just-
yellow ones are fine too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. Like actually, I tell a lie. There are a couple of times I've used silver micas, but I never liked them for any of the typical uses. Like I never liked them in tone stacks. I never liked them in anything else. I sometimes use them as a snub, like a snubber.
Plate snubber, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good as a plate snubber. But
Yeah, I think I ended up using them like once or twice in the past for that kind of a purpose. But like I was never really into the sound of them. They're a little bit too pristine, too clean for me.
They do have a pretty specific sound for sure.
Yeah, they're very clean. They don't really have any of that kind of grit that you get from, either a ceramic or a film or something like that.
And somebody said they look like little butts too.
yeah,
They do. They do look weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they
Brad,
just leak too much. They're just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
let's just see how you're going when you're 55, all right? And we'll report back and see how you're traveling. It's like 100.
Hey.
What are you doing? What are you doing with Fahrenheit, man? You're a fucking Australian. It was 40 degrees Celsius, all right? Come on.
it's for all the Yanks.
I
here.
know. I don't worry.
You guys love us. You guys love it. You can't help it.
I'm guilty of doing the same thing. There's like people say to me, like, because I've started to use terms for things that I know is not used here, like trash. Put it in the trash can. Whatever.
Yeah.
People don't say that here. I mean, everyone knows what it is. Rubbish.
You say, you
bin.
say it like us, like rubbish or the bin.
Yeah.
Put it in the bin.
Put it in the bin.
You know.
Damn.
So after I'd been obviously the last time, shows all the time before whatever, and I've come back and I've said that, and people like stop and they go, "You spent too long in America, mate. What are you fucking saying shit like
I have
that?"
the same trouble being in Europe. Like
It gets in your brain.
Bin
You can't get it out.
Yeah.
It's like a trash can.
Yeah.
Put it in the rubbish, dude.
Yeah, it's funny, you coming over here. There's definitely some cultural differences that we found, is for sure. It's funny. Hey, you know what? Honest, I just thought about this. Good job on the 2-note stuff, Jason.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Two-note-
Congrats,
yeah.
mate.
Yeah, congrats on that, dude.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience to work with a company that actually has a marketing department, because around here it's just me, It's yeah, they do it properly. So
Looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks, hope it goes well.
Yeah,
Those
man.
I wonder have you gotten any feedback yet from the IR stuff?
yeah, a little bit, yeah. So a few guys have contacted me who downloaded the cabs and have used them, and they really like them. I mean, I've been playing that stuff for months now, because I've as soon as I did the captures, they turned them around within 24 hours, and I was able to load up kind of pre-release versions, into the software or into the preamp or whatever it, because I could get those cabs and load them into any 2-notes host. And there's enough variation between them. It's interesting. Like you can hear, and Dave, you would have had the same experience when you did yours. The variation between the 5, they are there, and they sound like how the cabs do when you put a microphone on them. The variation from speaker to speaker and cabinet to cabinet, definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's cool. Like the way you can change the mic, and obviously play with their setup and stuff like that is a nice. It's a nice feature than over a static IR, I think.
Yeah. I'll have to check them out over Christmas.
So you've shipped out some preamps too, Jason?
Yeah.
I saw in the chat somebody said that they were going to receive it pretty soon.
Yeah, I started shipping this time last week, so they're just kind of going out. And I've still got some to build. Like we're well past halfway doing the run of this 50.
All you got to do is flip it upside down and redo the silk screening, and the AC will be on the right side.
I'm following. I'm following the new style though.
New style.
Yeah, every single modeler has done it like the one that I've done it. So there you go.
Oh,
well, the Helix, the Kemper, and the XFX rack,
and they're all wrong.
that way. Oh, I've sold a few of them, so I'm happy to go down that pathway. Yeah. So they're shipping. Like FedEx are at the door here every day at the moment, picking up a stack of them.
Cool.
Including
That's
today.
awesome.
This was a fun chat. The Jose shit's a fun chat.
Oh yeah, we got really geeky and ignored almost everyone.
Yeah, sorry guys.
That's what we usually do, right?
Yeah, they stuck with us.
They did. We didn't get any drop off. I think the number of people viewing this thing has been pretty solid all the way through. So, yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Good chat. I hope everyone has a
It's
great.
interesting. Wait, there's one thing here. Randall Aiken did comment. He goes, "I'll never use the silver mica caps again. The only caps I've had fail."
Yeah.
I love the red
There you go.
Wema caps, but I don't like. You're right. I don't like them.
Yeah, I think you said that last time.
Yeah, they're kind of dark for me. They're dark and smooth. If you want that, it'd be great, but they're kind of dark and smooth for me. But and I have unfortunately
them for,
had the opportunity to rip all of them out of an amp because I hated it so much and had put different caps in.
Yeah.
So
You did.
oh,
So
never again.
Jeremy, right. Yeah, you're on the list, man. I know who you are. Don't worry. We'll get there. It's going to happen. Dave, have you used the red Wema caps cathode bypass?
Yeah, I use it for the cathode bypass. It's fine for
not
that.
for coupling.
Not in the coupling path. I don't like it. I've tried. I mean they're well made caps, but it's weird. It's just a little like veiled, little on the high end is veiled. They're very smooth sounding, not very aggressive sounding.
Yeah, I think if you use them in things like, like if like with the little loop boards and stuff like this.
It's okay, a loop board.
They're totally okay for those kind of things, and they're quite convenient because they're like so small in form and everything. But I do think they're a little bit, maybe smooth is the right word. Yeah, I've also found that. But we're talking about the MKS4, right?
MKP.
I think so.
I think the MKP is not so smooth. The polypropylene.
I just gotta stay away from it.
Yeah, they're more aggressive and kind of modern. The MKPs, but
I'll just use Panasonic.
I like Panasonic.
Panasonic sound good, man.
I've been using Panasonics for like a decade or something now.
Yeah,
I think. They work great.
I recently had an amp, a prototype that will eventually see the light of day, and I used all of that, and then I A/B'd it to something that had totally different caps in it, a much bigger brother of it, so to speak, and it was like the same. So I'm like, okay, great, fine. But in fact, the amp I was working on is the amp I put Wemas in, and then wound up hating it so much I had to rip them all out. So,
well, you don't like. That's good. You don't like those ERO2 resistors too.
Yeah.
What? I like those resistors.
Well, not through the whole.
No, not for normal resistors. I don't mind them in the B plus line.
Yeah,
but not for the whole amp. No, then those. Yeah. Hey, those resistors might work with the Wema caps.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they can,
because those resistors sound bright and harsh and just grainy, and the Wema caps are smooth and dark and everything, so they might balance each other out. So you never know.
Yeah,
there you go.
Maybe
you never know. I always say it's all a recipe of everything. I'm not saying that it can't work with different parts. It just you got to figure out what works together.
That's right.
You got one more super chat, Jason.
I do, and this is Brad. Brad will need to tackle this one because this has come up before. Traditional Australian greeting: "Get a dog up you." Yeah, not sure what that means. What the hell? It's all good, man.
Get a dog up.
What does that mean?
Drink another beer,
Brad. Get a dog
Start,
up
and
in
then start,
sour
start,
beer. Who knows?
start drinking again. Yeah.
Yeah.
This will go down in the record books. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Well,
All right, cool.
Good chat. Hey, this is the
Yeah.
last one for the year.
last one for the year.
We did a
Yeah.
whole damn year of these things. Holy shit.
Oh, amazing, right?
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
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 Hope everyone
It's
has
been
a great break.
blast.
I
So
think,
this was number how many?
11.
11.
Missed one.
Yeah, we're one
Yeah.
shy.
Uh-huh.
We got close, but I think we did good enough.
Yeah.
And I think next year's looking pretty good too.
Yeah.
I think we're due for a good year next year, man. It's been the industry's had some challenges, but I'm still confident that we'll have a good year next year.
Yeah.
We're all still busy. That says a
Yep.
lot, right?
Yeah.
They have to have something to model
yeah.
or take captures of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Keeping it alive. All right, guys.
All right.
Well,
Thanks for tuning in all. Have a great break.
happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Yeah.
Oh no,
There
I
we
stole
go.
your shit,
Got
Dan.
it.
Dan's
There
is
we go.
working. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't